12th minute has grabbed the opener. Now the run for the Bronx. Take your first time and diving for the save. It's Kawashima.
Alright, it's updated now.
He has options with him in the box. It's Takashi Inui. Inui looking for a sighted goal. And Japan has stormed back to
England won 6-1 today.
That's actually just insane.
It's 2v3 right now, but support is coming for Osako. Nice lead, but it's sent towards the back post. Looking ball sent in to Sabali from Mane. Sabali in front, and there was a touchdown at the back post, and Senegal crashes the back post, and the youngster smashes it in. Senegal is 71st minute, have regained the lead. They'll need to wait for that Poland Columbia result. Clip to the back post, Osaka. The punch is missed. There's an open goal, and it's Keisuke Honda scoring into it. 2-2.
What is going on? All the full senders live once again on twitch.tv. We are coming at you with the third episode of the Full Send Studios podcast. I'm joined here once again with my good friend Ian, and across the table, Darren. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. We have a lot to talk about today. Oh no, what's that?
Oh no. What?
Ian already bit the audio, playing the Twitch feed with his speaker on. God.
It's muted, that's fine.
Professional podcast, by the way. So anyway, to get back to the topics for this week, you can see a lot of this in the title of the stream today, but to give a little bit more clarification, we're going to start off like we normally start off with a little bit of gather talk, updates, etc. And then, as per usual, we'll dive into the gaming talk. Some of the topics include the segment that we started last week called Game of the Week, um, the Steam Summer Sale, which, if you're a PC gamer, you know all about that. So, we're going to talk about some of the deals, some of the things that we've seen that we think might be of interest. We're going to talk a little bit of Gears 5 again because they gave some updates on their game. Then we're going to head into Summer Games Done Quick. So if you don't know anything about that, we'll get into that. That's another stream here on Twitch that's going on right now. And then we have just some other random topics to go into as well. So, Darren, if you would like to kick off, like usual, with the Gather updates, that'd be great.
All right, so I guess I'll start off with some talk about the website. Working on it. First thing to come out with that will be basically just kind of like a landing page with a little bit of information about the game. And from that, we'll also have a blog where we'll be posting development updates, maybe some more technical updates, things like that. That's probably going to be the best source of information for the game itself. To come after the blog, we'll be adding like a forum for the community to engage with each other and ourselves. And then once the forum's out, we'll be adding some more like user account kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
As the website and your account on the website will tie into the game and your account there. So things like friends, probably like integrating Steam friends, things like that. So all that will tie into the game further down the road. So we'll be adding some of that stuff to the website after the forum. And then I guess our second topic about the Gather is doing a little bit of motion capture, working on animations.
Right. We have a video. We have a video with that.
We do. We'll be showing a video here in a minute. It's early in the getting things set up stages and getting it all working. But basically we're setting it up with some Xbox Connect sensors.
Which might sound dumb, but
it works better than what you would think.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Kinect actually can do quite a bit of stuff. It's not like your couple $100,000 Mocap studio. You're going to see it.
Maybe someday. Maybe someday though.
It's a work in progress. It's getting there. Yesterday was the first day we really did anything with it, and I was happy with where we got today. So
I was pleasantly surprised with the actual quality we got with the amount of like improvisation we had to do with like putting blankets up to for calibration.
One of the big problems that we have with this current setup, or there's two big problems with this setup right now, and they're subjective. They're not always problems. So the first problem is the actual capture area. The amount of space we have to move around where it can actually track our motion is relatively small. We can only do it in about a 10 feet by 10 feet area. So, obviously it's kind of hard to make like, running and pivoting in the other direction animations or things like that in that small of an area, but we'll figure that out further down the road. But the other problem is hand tracking. It doesn't do that very well. There are some ways that we can get around that, and I actually think I can get around that pretty well with using Wii remotes.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you done a little bit of? Well, why don't you tell them about the gloves that we found that we weren't sure were going to fit into our budget?
Yeah. You can get some gloves that are basically there's several different kinds. You just do that right in front of the camera.
Well, I kind of forgot where the camera was, to be honest. It's not my bad.
But you can get gloves. Basically, there's a couple different levels. So you can get like VR gloves that track your hand and finger movements to VR games. Those are a little bit less expensive, but they're not necessarily made for motion tracking, and they're not as accurate, and they're not usually the data you get from them isn't as production ready. So what I mean by that is like when you track motion, say with a Kinect, a lot of the times it's not production ready. I can't take that tracking animation and put it straight into the game. Usually I have to, go through and you're gonna have to fine tune it manually. What about the audio sounds like junk?
Audio is horrible.
Really?
Good start, dude. Professional
It's
podcast,
probably the
by
air
the way.
conditioner.
Well, you thumbtacked the screen in front of it, so I couldn't put that down, and then I just
Is
kind
it
of
the air
left it.
conditioner? Because it wasn't issues before.
Well, is it on high right
It's
now?
on high.
I mean, it was
100%.
It was on high the whole
100%.
time last time. Was it?
I don't think it was. I think I turned it
Literally, I turned it on high immediately after we got in here, and did that to it.
We'll work
see
on
what
that.
happens.
Let us know if it improves. It's quiet. I can turn us up some.
All this stuff is.
We'll see if that gets any better here. Let me know how it sounds after I turned it up some. I guess we'll see what it sounds like, unless Ian's over there messing with stuff on the mixer. But
No.
it does seem a little lower than what it usually is.
That's
The mixer looks
interesting.
usual.
Yeah, I mean the levels are fine. Sounds like you're talking through a mic integrated in a laptop. That's interesting.
I will continue to monitor it.
What's
and
your-
let us know if it gets any better.
Did you happen to change like your audio bit rate or something like that?
No, but it could be the internet.
Yep.
That's possible.
But I would think the video would be lagging.
Are there any problems with the actual video itself?
No.
I mean, well, I'm just on 360. We're trying, dude. It's complicated.
I don't
honestly.
know what's wrong. I haven't changed anything since the last time. Vito, I'm gonna let you talk about some stuff.
While you
Check this
diagnose.
out.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I did want to hit on a couple of other things on the website as well.
Are you guys downloading anything like
I don't-
downstairs?
I shouldn't
No.
be.
I
No.
can go check though. If stuff happened.
Yeah, it doesn't look as clear as usual. Okay, so anyway, I'm just gonna talk about stuff and hopefully it's not that bad. I did want to hit on a couple other things with the website. So, yeah, the problem is it shouldn't be different because nothing's changed. So that's weird. But anyway, so I know we had talked about last week about how we thought, how we thought that the website was going to be live this week. We kind of ran into a couple complications with, we decided to design our own forum software. I wouldn't call it software, I guess, necessarily, but you know what a lot of websites do is use already like pre-established forum, whatever you want to call it. And we decided just to be kind of, I guess, self-sufficient to create our own, which is generally what we're trying to do with this project. So we have stuff that is, in our name that we can, do whatever with it, if the situation would arise. So that's taking a bit longer than expected. And then on top of that, we weren't really happy with the design of the website. There was a lot of things that we were super happy with. And I wish I could show those things to you, but hopefully in the next week I think we'll be live within the next week. Nothing?
Does it sound any better?
I don't know.
I'm not the one that judged you that.
Well, I mean, did anybody say anything about it?
No.
Come on. It says it's super bad, it's just different.
That's really weird.
I don't know why it would be that way unless OBS is broken.
Is your bit rate wrong? Like, I don't know.
No, it's the same. And maybe the internet was just lagging. I don't know.
We'll see.
Is anything better now? Like, does it still sound bad? Does the video still
Would this
look
do
bad?
anything?
No, that's just scuffed sound. Doesn't seem as bad on you and Ian.
Oh, it's just Darren.
The video's okay.
It's just Darren. Darren's just bad.
Well,
Is your cable loose? I don't know. It's the only thing I can
Yeah,
think
talk
of.
Darren, go to you and talk a bit, and we'll see.
well, okay, so I guess I'll talk about Mocap again. I don't know. We're working on it. It's coming along. Hopefully we can figure out hand tracking with those Wiimotes.
Yeah, that would be.
I think that'll work.
The budget mocap studio.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
And if we can't get motion capture on the fingers working, we can do that manually pretty easily.
Right.
Because most of our animations won't have, finger tracking.
Sound is really bad. I wish people could clarify what bad means. Like, is it quiet? Is it like, can you be a little bit more specific? That'd be
And mute my mic real quick.
Which one's yours?
One, I think.
There is no,
The first one. There's a mute button.
Okay, muted yours, I think.
Okay, yeah, that's not mine.
Okay.
Maybe not. I
What
don't
about
think.
this one? That one yours? Or is this mine?
I don't know.
What about that one? Talk.
I'm talking, but it might be picking me up in your guys' mics. I don't know. It doesn't seem like you're actually muting anything. I don't think you're pressing the right button.
Clicking the mute button there. Are we plugged into 1, 2, and 3? Because
Yes.
4, 5, and 6 are off.
No, the light means that they're muted.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Well, you know what?
Now
I'm
you're
just
muted.
gonna...
You're muted there.
Am I? Okay. I'm gonna switch to you guys. Okay.
Oh, hi, Cody.
Poggers, dude.
So, I mean, the website with,
Do
what we've done soon.
you remember 2 weeks ago when I was like, yeah, like we were ready to do this, like we have everything set up and we're really excited and think everyth's gonna run well.
For the
Well,
podcast?
it
or
did.
anything else?
Yeah,
I don't know what-
and now we're 15 minutes into episode 3 and we don't have audio right again. Donate so we can get a computer to host a computer just for our podcast. Thanks.
Yeah.
Darren, what is your budget for a podcast computer? How much would you need?
How much am I willing to spend on it, or how much would
I guess I shouldn't say budget.
I don't know, like $1,000.
So is it just quiet,
Darren,
or is
is
it
it
bad
using
quality?
the webcam mics?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
This is unusual.
We seem to be at
Technical
an
difficulties.
impasse.
Alright, I unmute my mic again.
Okay.
Darren is trying to take my computer back.
Does that seem any better? I did some stuff.
We
Let me
will
know
find
how. Let me know how it sounds. Hey,
Fixed.
okay.
So
I don't really know what I did, but
Is everyone's fixed? That's the question.
are we all good? The problem with communicating with people on the internet is it never goes well.
Yeah.
It took me about 7 minutes to understand what the problem was.
yeah.
So all of us fixed, or was it just a Darren issue, and then that's resolved now, or what? I don't know.
all right.
All right,
Well,
good to know.
seems like
Good to
seems
know.
like we're good now.
Let's get after it.
All
So
right, we're getting into
let's
it.
get
now.
into this video.
Honestly, the first part of the podcast is just a wash. So I'm gonna run the intro again. What's going on, guys? We're back with the third. Okay, so we're gonna jump into the video really quick. Okay.
All right,
But before all this starts, sorry for yelling. If the audio is back, that probably hurt a little bit. Just a preface to this. This is edited by yours truly. Phenomenal video editing using only the best video editing software. So we can go ahead and get right into it.
yeah, you guys can play it. I got it up whenever.
All right, we're good.
Yeah, we're not playing sound from this video. We don't really have sound in it that much. We're just gonna comment over it. This
Yeah.
is us last night doing motion capture stuff.
So we'll set this up a little bit. First of all, shout out to Ian's parents for letting us use their basement because we didn't have enough room in our house.
Wow.
On top of that, the outlet positioning was incredible. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and get right
that
into
outlet
it.
positioning was on point because I did not have a power strip with me.
Well, there you
Yeah.
go. There you go. Shout out to my parents for building that basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were tables everywhere.
What is it
There was
called
like
on Google?
6 tables down there.
Shout out your
Oh, Eiler's Basement Bar. I don't even know if it's still a thing on Google, but someone did that 10 years ago. You should look that up. The comments are pretty funny. A lot of my friends commented about how poor the service was and stuff, and
Really?
and how much there was one that was like, I showed up to this place and they told me it wasn't actually a bar. and they told me to leave, and his service was really bad. Jack gave it 5 stars, and then said that that they didn't even have anything.
Well, I gave it 5 stars because I went there to set up a motion capture studio, and there was just tables everywhere for me to use.
There's tables there from my brother and sister recently graduated, so there's all the grad party stuff still there.
Sponsored content by Ian's Basement Bar. Look at this in chat. Oh god, guys, prepare for crash landing if he edited it. No faith.
Well, what was the name of the software you used again?
I don't know.
Nothing.
What was it called?
Okay, I don't even know.
Nothing good.
It was like Pop Video or something like that, wasn't it?
Big lit, dude.
So
advanced editing techniques included are putting clips together and adding a title. All right.
And text.
All right, let's play this video.
Let's get after it. All right, here we go. We're gonna get right into this.
So right here we're doing a calibration test. So basically that board the motion tracking program detects the corners of that board, and it basically places the floor and everything based off of that. So it's just kind of doing a little clip to get everything calibrated and make sure that the tracking software is aware of where the cameras are.
That board is a section of the wall.
Impressive jump cut because we had to switch phones. Ian had to watch anime in case that was gone too quick.
Hold on a second.
So here
not
we're
a
just
real
doing
gun. Not a real gun.
We're just doing a little test animation of crouching, just to kind of get things rolling and see what it looks like in the finished product.
Do you want to explain why he has to put his arms out like that?
So that's just kind of a starting pose. So what happens is, essentially how this process works is the Kinects record a video, right? And that video gets sent into the motion tracking software. And then from there, you basically line up a skeleton with the actor. So putting him in that pose like that basically just lets you be able to align things and get it straightened out. I don't know what are you dying about over
Can you
there?
hear the audio in the
we
background?
still have audio, and I think I'm just really, really funny.
Oh, well, you're not that funny.
I also kind of just assume when you're talking, I'm not on camera.
Well,
And so, like, anytime you're on camera, it's kind of a little joke that we started last week where we just kind of, like, when the camera's on Darren, me and Ian will just kind of
Something's happening in the background.
do stuff to him to try to make him
Just
laugh.
imagine
So it's
every
been pretty
time
good.
every time Darren grins a little bit,
Yeah.
it's because me and Cody are doing something in the back.
So anyways, we line up a skeleton to the actor. That's what that pose is for. And that's where it kind of starts off at, so it knows where all the bones are at, and then it can track it from there. We don't have this like piped into Unreal Engine or anything like that yet. That'll come in the probably next weekend. We might have something where we take a little video of us recording an animation and then showing it going through the process into our actual one of our characters in the game. So that'll probably be something that we might show next week or 2 weeks whenever we happen to get that going.
Right.
But yeah, that's where we're at with motion capture. Coming along. Not bad for 1 day of doing it.
Yeah,
Not
I
even
thought
1 day.
It worked surprisingly well, I think.
It was like 2.5 hours of setup and then
Yeah.
like an hour of testing stuff.
Yeah. Once you have it set up, it worked pretty well. It's a pretty streamlined process once you have everything calibrated and set up.
Right. Oh, by the way, quick sellout moment here. You can actually watch this video on youtube.com/ we don't have enough subscribers to get our own domain. So go subscribe on our YouTube. It's you can find it somewhere probably.
Just search Full Send Studios.
Yeah, just
Our
search Full
podcast
Send
will pop
Studios.
up there.
Yeah, so you can watch all that stuff over there. Hit that subscribe button so we can get youtube.com/ Full Send Studios. Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Sunday sellout. You know how it goes. Are we done watching the video?
Yeah,
I've just been listening.
I already switched off of it.
You see Cody talking in the background.
It's really upsetting, honestly. I put in all that work, dedicate all that time.
So
You stopped playing Quake to do that too.
yeah, you guys have been playing a lot of Quake
Embarrassing.
this last day here.
Yeah, I played a ton of Quake today. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did, but
Wait a minute. We're going to jump into the next segment of the podcast called Game of the Week. We started this segment last week, and we're bringing it right back with another terrific game. What was our game last week?
The Talos
Talos
Principle.
Principle.
Oh, yeah, dude. Did you end up beating that? Finishing? Do you
Well,
want to give that little update?
Well,
before we
I
jump
don't know
into
if I want to
Quake?
give it because it's kind of a spoiler.
Well, don't
Oh,
spoil
It
it.
kind of
just-
spoils the ending, but basically,
Both
I
of us finished it.
beat it and
Yeah.
restarted it, and then
Yeah.
I didn't
Were you happy
voluntarily
with the
restart it.
ending?
No, well,
No.
I mean, I didn't get the real ending. I don't think, but
No,
you know,
No.
it's,
No.
you know, I don't want to
did.
spoil it for
Maybe
people.
It's all. Maybe it's all. Quake Champions.
Yeah. Guess
Um,
what? Guess what our game is? Quake Champions. Is what
Yeah.
it is.
So game of the week. We need a little. We need a little thing. That we
Like
can
the
pop
more
up
the
there.
more you know, Rainbow.
Right,
Except it's
right.
Yeah.
every week.
The
That's a
imagination
perfect.
thing from SpongeBob.
Yes. Yeah, that would be perfect.
So anyway, Quake. Ian, do you want to talk about this? Because
I mean,
you know,
we were told
been
to get
grinding.
Quake Champions by a good friend of ours who's in the chat right now.
GD Miller 95.
GD
Shout out to
Miller
the homie.
95. Messaged me and Cody and said, "Hey, you guys need to get Quake Champions. It's free right now in the summer sale, which we'll get to later."
Yeah.
And it, if you guys know about Quake or Doom, they're all very fast-paced, like arena shooters, first-person shooters. And they're very it's very entertaining, and you can put a ton of time into it because how much you jump from game to game so quickly because of how fast-paced it is. But
I definitely think it's one of those games that, like, when you first start playing, you think it's pretty simple, right? Just run around, get guns, shoot. You know what I mean? But I think, like, I played a ranked match yesterday and just got destroyed because the guy would just evade me, armor up, and knew, you know, where the good guns spawned and stuff like that on, like, every map that we played on. And he just kind of tore me to bits. So I think it's a game that is easy to jump into, but the skill cap for it, or the, like, I guess, whatever you want to call it, like the ceiling, is really, really high.
so is rank like 1-on-1, or is there like
I think there's like
multiple
two
things?
modes. There's like 1-on-1 and then like 2v2,
Mm.
as far as I know.
Right.
That's all I saw on there. But it was like I killed him twice and he killed me a lot more than that. I'm not really sure exactly how it works, but it was fun. I'm enjoying the mode where I don't just get absolutely destroyed, which is just like casual play, I guess you'd call it. But it is extremely fun. Like graphically, it reminds me, not graphically, I guess, but just the feel of the game. It reminds me a bit of Doom, just like the appeal of it. There's a little bit, you know, there's like dark voice lines and just kind of the feel of the weapons and stuff like that, and running around and having all these different weapons in your arsenal to use to your advantage. It feels very, very Doom-like, and also kind of reminds me of Unreal Tournament a little bit too.
I mean, all those games are very similar as far as their multiplayer goes.
Right.
I mean, arena shooters are all fairly similar in that regard,
Right.
as far as map design and how fast-paced and like you can carry 8 guns or 10 guns at one time if you want to. You know.
It definitely provides like an interesting like element, because like you have games like Call of Duty, right, where generally speaking all of your engagements will be pretty similar. Like you might have someone that, you know, is using a sniper rifle, and so you have to watch out for long sight lines or something like that, but you can generally get a feel of a game pretty quickly. You know what the other team's gonna be running, and you play a certain way. Whereas in this game, everyone could have a multitude of different weapons, so you kind of constantly have to be mindful of your positioning, because people can kill you from up close, far away, wherever they want at any time. You're not like resigned to one kit, I guess, if that makes sense.
And it's interesting that like they have it balanced in a very interesting way to where no gun is way more powerful than any others. Like
right.
the rocket launcher is a pretty standard weapon in like Unreal and Quake and Doom.
Right.
But still, it doesn't seem like I've outplayed people with other guns while they're using a rocket launcher just as easily as I outplay people with a rocket launcher that are using other guns. It's like very it seems like if your skill is generally better than the other person as far as aim goes, then you're gonna win the gunfight.
Yeah,
like
most of the time,
unless they're quadded up and have the lightning gun, in which you get melted in like
20,
a second.
28, yeah, it's just rough.
Yeah,
but I think at its core it's a pretty simple game, but that makes all of the elements that much more important, like your ultimate ability, for example, or whatever it's called. I don't know the technical term for it, but like you were discussing these gunfights where all I have is the starter, whatever it is, railgun or whatever, and this guy's coming at me with an RPG. Well, you can use abilities and game sense to really evade that situation and put it in your favor. For example, leaving your back exposed or something so he doesn't have a platform to shoot you from or whatever, stuff like that. So it's an interesting game. It's definitely a nice breather away from like games like Overwatch and stuff where it's just like extremely fast paced. Like you don't necessarily have to plan a whole lot. It's just kind of run and gun, and the best person generally wins. And we had kind of talked about this like a couple weeks ago where like a lot of games are just going into the super competitive nature. And don't get me wrong, that's prevalent in Quake Champions too with the competitive mode, but it feels like a lot of people are just playing it to just like sit down and just run and gun and have a good time. So I think it's a really good game to be free right now, and I think they're gonna probably grow a lot from it just because it is a pretty like polished game from what I've seen.
It's Bethesda, right?
Pretty
sure it's
I don't
Bethesda.
know who makes Quake. Yeah,
Yes.
I think as far as I know. So it's probably a smart play on their part. Do we think it's free if Fortnite wasn't as popular? Like, I don't think they do this.
What is it actually gonna
Probably
be
not.
free?
Well,
It is if you get it
Darren
now.
seemed to think, or not Darren, Grant seemed to think that if you got it for free in the sale,
Yeah,
then you
no, you don't
claim
have
the
to
game
buy it
forever.
anymore. Yeah, you have the game forever if you get it like this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you
Mhm.
better run downstairs and install it real quick, Darren.
Yeah, I think you literally have to get it by the end of the day.
Yeah, I think
so
it-
if
I
you're
think it
watching
ends
this
tonight.
and you don't have it and you have a PC, you should definitely go
Just
download
do it
on
anyways, yeah.
Steam because it's a really really fun game.
It's fun. It's a nice. It's 4v4. The casual mode that we've been playing, at least team deathmatches.
Yeah.
So it's a good game for like our friend group to sit down and play because
Right.
we just hop in Discord and then it's me and Cody and Grant and Jack that are
Right.
running around. And Grant and Jack are trash at the game, so I lose every game because Grant can't get more
Wow.
than 10 kills and I'm dropping 30 bombs.
30 bombs, 40 bombs. Yeah. But yeah,
Sorry,
I definitely think it deserves the title of, the pristine medal of Game of the Week from the Full Send Studios podcast.
We should get like a plaque or something, or like
That'd be
we can
very
do
funny.
we can do what all the Twitch girls do and like bend over and write on a whiteboard.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, TOS, dude. You can't throw shade at e-girls. We love you.
Well,
We love all of you.
gonna get sued by whatever her name is. Not gonna use any names.
Yeah.
So
It
so
might
that's,
rhyme with
Hot Twitch hots.
Palinity or something. What's it might rhyme with that, but we're not going to say that.
We're not saying it.
Yeah.
PewDiePie's
So-
already
We're trying
under
to
fire
keep
for
it.
that.
Yeah.
So that Quake Champions is free on the Steam summer sale. Not the
Mhm.
only thing on the summer sale.
No, there's
Got a lot of
more.
stuff out there. I think every Valve game is on sale.
Mhm.
Cheap.
So is that? Am I correct in thinking that is the like collector, the complete Valve pack for
So-
$15?
Yeah, so that is like every game they've ever made.
So all the
Yeah.
portals, all the Half-Lives,
Yeah, I have the pack. And,
TF2.
but I wasn't sure if that was actually what was on sale.
So I think I saw the price. So we can just jump into this actually right
Yeah.
now. So I think that the price originally was $200 for all of those games if you were to buy them individually, and right now they're $15. It's 92% off. It's absolutely insane.
They're crazy.
Granted, I mean, most of the most of the games are, I guess, outdated. They're still, if you've never played through most of them,
the
they're-
original Half-Life will never be outdated.
They're still my favorite games, like story-based games of all time. They're way up there. They're so good.
They're very good. Yeah. So it's definitely something like, even if you think you're only going to play a couple of them, I think it's well worth the $15.
Even
and,
Portal's worth that.
Yeah, that's hard to argue with. I mean, it's not quite I can't ever remember Talos Principle, but you know, it's all right.
It's true.
It started it. It started that big genre of
Puzzle games.
kind of doing that.
Advanced puzzles.
Right.
What else we got
defined
on there? A bunch of
dimension.
Bethesda games.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, honestly. Like, So these are just some of the games that I had put down as potential topics. I guess I'll just kind of introduce this like little topic here by describing what the Steam sale is and kind of why it's even a topic that we would want to talk about, because obviously there's sales all the time. But generally speaking, it is, as far as I understand, like the most important sale for PC gamers throughout the course of a year.
Yeah, it's definitely the biggest.
Yeah, definitely the
Yeah.
biggest. And I think we're also going to talk about another topic, which is the Amazon whatever Prime Day or whatever it's called, and it's kind of similar, and it's good in the sense that it pushes other companies in that direction as well, right? So, a lot of other companies, I mean, granted, like Black Friday's been a thing for a while, but the Steam Summer Sale has kind of pushed the gaming industry in that direction, where like they want to offer really big sales for games that aren't necessarily grossing them that much profit anymore. But generally speaking, the Steam Summer Sale just has an absurd amount of games that are over 50% off. So if you search Steam Summer Sale on Google right now, you would see Prime. Yeah. There's articles from every major like gaming outlet or network or whatever that are publishing articles on top 10 games you can get on the Steam Summer Sale right now. So, it's definitely a pretty popular thing. So anyway, let's talk about some of these games.
Not to mention, if you have Amazon Prime, pretty soon you'll be able to sub to us
Right.
on Twitch.
So smack that follow button while you're here. If you don't know, there's a little I don't know what color it is if you're not followed. Red,
Purple, I
maybe?
believe.
It's
Purple heart. So if you're in the stream right now, you can help us reach our goal to get 50 followers so we can become affiliates, whatever, on Twitch, which will allow people to donate bits and subscribe, and there's a couple other minor things like
just from our standpoint.
But there are, at least one person out there. There is at least one person out there that wants to subscribe to us. Chad, if you're here, say hello in the chat. I see a green heart. Well, that's good to hear.
That means you already.
That means you
us.
follow us. So thanks for the follow. So I don't even know why I just sold out right there. What was that for?
We're talking about Prime.
Oh yeah, dude, Twitch Prime.
Yeah.
So yeah, once we get to 50 followers, you can subscribe to us for free. It's pretty crazy stuff, honestly. Amazon takes a huge hit to unfollow us. Well, if you don't support the sellout, I don't support you. So that's just a fact. See you at work tomorrow, buddy. But so yeah, I mean it's sellout Sunday. I don't know what you expect, honestly, especially for me. You know what I'm all about. But anyway, back to the Steam Summer Sale.
Well,
So no,
like Steam has sales. It's not just summer.
They have like a
Yeah.
spring.
It's like-
they have a sale pretty much every season.
Every season there's like a sale, but this is the biggest.
And
by
Steam
far.
isn't the only place that does the summer sale or the seasonal sales. The Humble Store does them a lot.
yeah,
And you can pick up pretty good deals. I mean, they're known for cheap games, so you can pick up games there pretty cheap
Yeah.
all the time. But they also do summer sales and things like that. They usually follow pretty closely to Valve's sale schedule.
okay.
They're usually, a lot of times, their sales are going on at the same times. So I would check out the Humble Bundle as well if you're looking for
We're big
good
fans
deals
of the
on
Humble.
games.
Shout out to the Humble.
We're a big fan of Humble Bundle there.
I do
If,
love
That's
the
true.
Humble Bundle.
if this video hits the desk of anyone at Humble Bundle, we'd like to be in touch with you guys about our game. We definitely think that there's a lot of mutual gain to be had from our relationship. So, come say hello. What is our email? I don't even know.
FullSenStudios@gmail.com.
Yeah, there you
right
go.
now.
Look at that, dude. I did really well with just getting all that branding together. Getting everything we needed. Full Sense Studios. Poggers. You know what I mean?
Proud of you.
So, I'm putting in mad work over here, okay? Don't test me in chat anymore. All right, I'm doing the most out
Don't
here.
test me. We get banned.
Yeah, you test me, you get banned.
Do you think our friends are gonna be back from last week?
What friends?
The ones that bombed our Discord.
Oh, I forgot.
that was pretty funny.
happened, yeah.
Man.
He said he'd be back before I banned him in chat for a day.
Can you imagine like that being your life? You just go around with your friend into small streamers. Or
I mean, I
dead streamers.
jump into like small streamers,
No,
but to tell them they're doing a good job.
Yeah, I mean,
Not to
that's what Chad, our friend Chad, like prides himself on. He goes into just like 0 viewer streams and donates like 500 bits.
Yeah. It's
Did
good
you
stuff.
just-
Shout out to
Yeah.
Chad, dude, my homie.
Did you just toot your own horn? You raised me this way. Just remember that the next time you want to throw shade this way.
Oh, we gotta keep Grant in that loop.
Yeah.
Grant does that too.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Grant. I shouldn't have left you out there.
I didn't mean to,
That's
Grant.
my fault.
It is fun. I do like seeing people having good reactions.
Yeah, you could make us have a good reaction.
Well, we can't take bits yet.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Once we get that 50 followers, though.
50 followers.
true.
Hit that little heart.
Grant,
right
if you
above-
can get us like 20 followers or so,
Yeah,
that's good for me.
yeah.
I'm all about that, Grant.
I need to get like friends to shout me out. You know what I mean? Like someone that has, you know, say like 298,502 followers. It'd be really cool.
Are you specifically referring to someone that's playing right now?
No, it's just kind of in general. That'd be really cool if someone with
Oh,
that
yeah.
many people shout us
that's true.
out. You know what I mean?
All right, so
God,
getting back on the topic of games
the
here.
sellout's so real, dude. It's
Let's
really
talk about
bad.
Gears 5.
Whoa, dude!
Alright.
Gears 5.
Jumping into it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
dude. I know you were ready for this.
I was. I
You
like
were
Gears,
Born,
you
were
know.
born for this.
Um,
We talk about this
is
every
your
week, how
moment.
much Darren loves Gears.
Well, we'll see how much Darren loved Gears. We'll see how much he continues.
Oh,
to
okay,
love Gears.
here we go.
Oh.
I
Halo.
don't have high hopes. But,
You hear
know.
that, Gears? You better get it together.
So they announced that they're gonna. Did they like confirm or did they say that they were like trying?
Did I
to?
post the link? I was really bad with posting links.
So they either confirmed
I
or
think
they
they
said they're
confirmed
trying
it.
to that
Yeah.
they're gonna have 4K 60 FPS on console and 4K 120 FPS on PC. I feel like that's a bold statement because to come out in the news and say we're gonna have 4K 120 FPS on PC is a very subjective term. My computer might do 4K 120 FPS, but this guy over here that bought it on his $200 Toshiba laptop isn't going to do 4K.
He's not even going to be able to open the game.
So, well, they actually talk about that. So I found the quote. The coalition boss, Rod Ferguson, talked about the technical targets set internally for Gears 5. Our target is always 60 FPS, and we believe with everything we've done, the learning we've taken from Gears 4, and the optimizations we've been able to do beyond that, that's exactly what we're going to be doing, 60 FPS at 4K. The new technology of this generation has been fantastic. And then he continues, having a game that we're building from the ground up for PC means players will be able to take advantage of all the types of different PC optimization options you can have. You'll be able to max it out quite high. It's still reasonably early, but we can usually get to 120 FPS in 4K. It's obviously going to matter what hardware you're using to get that, but it'll be able to scale up that high if the hardware can push it.
Yeah, they're getting 4K at 120 FPS on their
That's-
1080 Ti's supercomputers at their headquarters.
Yeah,
Their
I-
1080
I don't
SOI
think
1080 Ti's.
it's not unrealistic for a 1080 Ti to do 4K at 120
Oh, I mean,
FPS.
yeah.
Depending on how well optimized the game is, but I
It's
don't think
Gears,
that's unrealistic.
so.
Post on Facebook so old people can find you.
Facebook.
Do we have a Facebook?
We don't.
We don't have a
No,
Facebook.
because
We
we
need a
are,
Facebook?
we are strongly against
I
Facebook.
refuse using Facebook.
Hold on, I am strongly against Facebook. I haven't had a Facebook account.
Okay.
Ever?
No, I have.
Nice.
I have a Facebook account for like a developer account.
But what about
But I
that
don't
MySpace
actually.
there, Darren?
Well, MySpace is the place.
What
to
about
be,
that
okay?
AOL?
Yeah.
What about that? I have my background music when you come to my
What about
page. That was
Club Penguin?
Hold on. We need to
Wow.
talk about that. For a second.
Throwback right now.
That's the thing we need to talk about is
Mm-hmm.
MySpace had that your music. You picked a song. You remember that? And it was
Yeah,
like people
yeah.
came to your site and it was your song.
Yeah.
That's what we need in modern social media.
Really?
No, we don't.
Why not, Darren?
I'm just gonna
There-
say no. We
Every
don't.
time I want to
that's
listen
just
to
a bad
like,
idea.
Every time I want to listen to like a
That's where there's
I don't even know, Five Finger Death Punch song and be like, I'm just gonna go to Darren's MySpace, see what he's up to, and listen to Five Finger Death Punch in the background.
dude.
What do you think? Five Finger Death Punch is my favorite band.
No, I just feel like you'd play that.
We know your favorite band, Darren.
Wow.
We've also a couple little.
Toto.
Oh, yeah,
That's pretty good.
True. I can't.
I've been
stop.
listening to a lot of Johnny Cash lately.
That's true.
Johnny Cash. I'm dying.
You okay over there?
Oh God, I'm back, dude. Don't worry about me.
Man,
Donate so I can go get surgery.
go to
Thanks.
the ER.
It's not looking too great right now. That's where the old gamers are. There are no.
I feel like that's a somewhat true statement.
I mean,
Yeah.
the old gamers that are playing Farmville. I don't think the Gather is targeted to people that play Farmville. Sorry.
They grew up watching
I'm
Terminator.
talking about people that used to play PC games back when, like, the original Doom and Quake 2 and stuff.
I mean,
I feel like those
maybe.
people are primarily on Facebook.
you don't think they
Probably.
stick with the times?
I mean, our game is fairly similar to the Terminator, and they grew up with those
I
movies.
mean, we
back
can
in the
make
day.
a Facebook. Should we post
I
a
don't
little
wanna
like
make a
straw
Facebook.
poll in chat? Like,
Yeah.
would you ever click on a Facebook link? And if more than 2 people say yes, we'll make a Facebook.
More than 2? All right, yeah.
Set one in chat if we should make a Facebook for Full Send Studios. I'm serious. They live feed themselves playing.
It's
Suck.
so another weird thing about Facebook. So I said like I have a developer account, right? And I think I'm friends with like 10 people on it or something. I don't even know. I can't
Nice.
even tell you the last time I logged
Dude,
in.
you have so many friends.
But I'm friends with my mom,
Yeah.
and
Shout out.
randomly, out of nowhere, like the last, I don't know, 2 months, I just randomly get texts from Facebook that my mom posted a new status update.
Yeah.
Don't know when it started happening or why, but it just randomly all of a sudden started happening. I don't know how to turn it off. So
Yeah.
That's your FBI agent notifying you that your mom's posting things.
Right. Facebook. I don't have much to say about
but
Facebook.
I do like Facebook from a developer standpoint. I
Sure.
mean, they make React, and that's pretty good. So
Should have
not that anybody here knows what React is, but
React React. Should have
Damn.
What is that? APL social
I think
media?
that meant to say all.
I mean,
P is right next to L on the keyboard.
that's fair.
Quit trolling me
I
on
mean,
Facebook.
you're right to a degree, but at some point you have to stand up for what's right.
Don't you
you know,
tell me
fa-
to do what.
fa-
I already made a MySpace grant.
Facebook does not promote what's right. Okay. Dude, can we?
We don't
bring
want
back
people to think that we're
MySpace?
stealing their data.
Right.
Is MySpace a thing still?
It
Yeah, but
probably
it's like
is.
not used, and when it is, it's musicians.
Featured
That's
content on
absurd.
MySpace. Yeah, it's music.
Yeah.
James Corden. though,
They
dude,
like
that
tried
guy's
to
the
make it
goat.
like tried to make it like Groove Shark almost.
Oh, really?
That's
Interesting.
disappointing to hear, kinda. How much did he sell that for?
What, Groove Shark or
No,
MySpace?
MySpace. Wasn't it like a
lot.
ton?
Yeah,
And then it died.
he used Google Plus a lot after like when
Oh,
that came
really?
out. Yeah,
It
Let's
is
find out how
mostly
much
because he
Really?
sold MySpace. so he became, like, a
580
photographer.
million
Wow.
That's
Wow.
nothing.
in
You got
2005.
AT&T buying Time Warner for like 85 billion, and Disney dropping 73
Yeah.
billion by Fox, which we could talk about that. That's not going to go through. If anybody hasn't
What's
heard
that?
about that, I don't know if you guys heard about that. Disney, Fox accepted Disney's bid for 73 billion
Yeah.
to buy 21st Century Fox.
Right.
Wow.
So if you don't know anything about the financial world and stuff, when two companies buy each other, so there's like two kinds of mergers. There's a horizontal merger and a vertical.
Mm-hmm.
Vertical means that's
One
like
company eats
that's like-
the other.
no, it has to do with the types of companies. So
Oh, okay.
like AT&T buying Time Warner is or that's not a good example. Say AT&T were to buy 21st Century Fox, right?
Okay.
AT&T is a cable company. They deliver
Right.
Fox's content
Right.
to people, right? So a vertical merger is when they're buying another portion of the same
Okay.
chain of
Right.
things, right?
Okay, that makes sense.
So they now make the content and then they deliver it.
All right.
Whereas a horizontal merger is eliminating competition. So like Disney buying 21st Century Fox is a horizontal merger because now there's less people making the content.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of antitrust laws and stuff in place, and horizontal mergers are generally investigated and scrutinized more than vertical mergers because it's a lot easier to create a monopoly if you're just eliminating competition.
Yeah.
And based on the things that 21st Century Fox owns and the things that Disney owns, there is almost no way that I see the government letting that go through.
Just because the sheer amount of what Disney would own.
Yeah, so if the FCC has the first say, right?
The FCC won't let me be.
If the FCC says okay, my guess is that Trump will veto it, and he'll say no. Then it'll go to the Supreme Court, and they'll make the decision there. And that's how the AT&T buying Time Warner one went. The FCC said okay, Trump said no, and then it went to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court said it was okay. Which, think of that what you will.
Yeah.
But I don't think that this one will go through because the AT&T buying Time Warner was a vertical merger, and it's not as scrutinized as much. And there's still a little bit more competition than there would be if Disney were to buy 21st Century Fox.
Right.
So I don't think that this is going to go through, or they're at least not going to let it go through like fully. So Disney is trying to acquire all of 21st Century Fox. They might be like, you can buy these certain parts, but so we'll see what happens.
This 21st Century Fox is separate from like Fox News and stuff, right?
Well, they own that.
Right.
But I mean, they're the parent company.
The last thing I was reading about Disney buying 21st Century was that they're buying certain sections of it. Not all of
they're buying they're buying the whole thing.
Are they?
Yeah,
Wow.
and it'll give them a lot of stock in other things as well. So they're buying all of 21st Century Fox, everything it owns, and its assets.
Yeah.
So like 21st Century Fox has stock in like Hulu and a couple other big names like that. They don't own those, but they have a lot of stock in them, and that would give Disney a lot of stock in them. So Disney would gain a lot from it, and I don't see the government letting it happen, but who knows?
It's interesting. I guess we'll have to see and what they decide, but
Yeah.
I don't know. When does Amazon start doing stuff like that?
Buying other companies?
Well, no. I mean, I know that they've been doing that, but
Creating
when
a monopoly.
when do they just start trying to take down like online
When does Amazon
shopping
buy Disney?
sites?
I don't know. I don't think Amazon's gonna buy Disney, but
Maybe, dude. Maybe they try to just expand into as much as possible,
we
so
just-
Bezos can be a trillionaire.
What if we just made one big company for everything instead?
well,
Yeah, that'd be.
What if we just embrace the monopoly
what
fully?
if we just let the government do everything?
What if we What
That's
if
kinda
what
what
if
I'm
we
at,
just
yeah.
What if Trump just runs everything?
Yeah.
I'd be in for that.
I would.
Jokes.
It's a
jokes.
joke.
Politics.
We're gonna take it seriously here.
No, we
We're
gotta
not
get
gonna
out.
do
We
that.
gotta
We're
get
not
out
gonna
of this.
Jump
while
out.
we
Jump
can.
out quick. Go back to
Quick.
video games quick.
Go back to where you're safe.
We're too
I need to
serious.
find my safe space. I'm talking about Trump. Okay.
All right, here we go.
that
I guess
was
we can
too
talk
good.
about,
Game's done quick. Here we go.
yeah.
We're jumping into it.
Summer games done quick.
I want to give out my game recommendations from the Steam Summer Sale. Skyrim. I
Oh,
put
here we
Elder
go.
Scrolls Online, but don't know. Skyrim VR, if you're interested in VR, Oblivion, Morrowind, Civ 6 and 5, the Fallout series, the Dark Souls series, Doom, GTA 5, and Witcher 3. Check those out. They're all discounted a lot. Okay, so summer games done quick. Yeah,
Yeah.
Why don't you go a little?
that was a pretty quick little read there. Did you like that?
Yeah.
I just
Why don't you give us an introduction into what Summer Games Done Quick is?
Right. So effectively, they organize a bunch of people that speed run games, right? And I don't know where it's held at this year. I probably should have figured that out. But anyway, they organize them in like a conference hall, like E3 does or whatever, like anything like that. And effectively, what they do is any donations. Well, I assume it's not any. I assume someone makes money, but effectively, they take donations during the stream, and each year
I'm pretty sure all the donations go to the charity, but the live attendance is what
Oh,
the tickets to
makes
buy
sense.
the live attendance is what goes to.
right.
because they're doing it. I mean, it's not just summertime. That like Games
I was
Done
gonna say,
Quick
there's like a
does
couple a year,
a
right?
lot of these. There's like Bad Games Done Quick. There's like Winter Games does quick. Summer, obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
Games Done Quick is like a. It's grown a lot in the past
Yeah.
3 years, two or 3 years with how big their community is. Like, I mean, right now they have 119,000 people watching on Twitch right now, playing Warcraft 3, and that's not by any means like a big, well-known game.
So they've been partnered with at least the Summer Games Done Quick has been partnered with Doctors Without Borders for almost over 5 years now.
Yeah.
And so I was curious on how much this had raised. So it started in 2011. And that year they raised 21,000. The next year it was 46. The year after it spiked to 257,000. And then their last campaign, which was July 2nd to the 9th of 2017, raised almost $8 million. And then they have, let's see here. And then they just have Awesome Games Done Quick, which they did one of those in January, and that raised $2.2 million.
Yeah. That one was really good.
Yeah.
That week was fantastic.
They do quite a bit of stuff, I guess. So the Awesome Games Done Quick has been partnered with Prevent Cancer Foundation, and then the one they're doing now is, again, Doctors Without Borders. And let's see, I'm going to take a peek really quick. I think this is the first day that they've done it, and they've raised 112,000 already today. And generally
this
speaking,
is supposed to be their biggest one.
Right. I mean, understandably, I think they've grown every year.
But this is supposed to be like their estimate is bigger than anything because the amount of tickets that they sold, this arena was like sold out pretty much, and they're expecting like full attendance. So like if you go on Twitch, the speedrunner is there, and then he has a couch behind him with all his friends up on the stage. Is how it usually goes. And then behind them is a conference hall full of people that are there to watch, which is how it usually goes. And in bigger games, like what's the big game tonight? What's like the headline tonight? You said it to me earlier, but I don't remember what you said.
I just kind of put down a couple games that I was interested in. But
is Doom tonight?
Yeah, Doom is tonight, I believe, at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, so
let me see.
And people, like, obviously it's for a really, really good cause, so people drop these huge amounts of money. It's like last year or the year before, I don't remember, Notch donated like 20,000 to one of the speedruns of his games, and it was like ridiculous. It's so good. Yeah. But yeah, they're really, really good cause, really good idea.
So they're doing Warcraft 3 right now, and then after that they have a pretty killer lineup. They're doing Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, Doom, and then Resident Evil 4.
Oh, Resident Evil 4
is the last one of the day. Those are
probably all in my top 10 favorite games of all time list.
Yeah.
So the way that like these things work, because obviously they have to have a time frame. They're trying to finish the game as quickly as possible. So like the speedrunner gives like a time that they generally can get it in. But then there's been a ton of world records broken at these things where people just fly through these games. Like, there's been like accidental glitches that propel people forward through the game significantly. And a lot of them, so like speedrunning, there's like no glitch speedrunning or no exploit speedrunning, which is like straight up, you're playing the game the way it was intended to be. And then there's glitching ones where you exploit an issue or
you just jump 50% of the game by running and jumping into a wall that lets you go through the wall and just teleport to the other side of the map.
For example, I watched a speedrun of that when me and Darren were playing it. Darren, you finished that game in like 30 hours ish, 25
under that, and then I did a speed run of like half the game afterwards. Not a glitch speed run, but I think I went through like half the game after I had beaten it in like 2 hours.
Yeah, so we'll put that in perspective. So like a first play through the game takes people 25 30 hours to do. Darren's speedrun glitchless took him half of it was 2 hours. I watched a speedrun for the whole game in 11 minutes.
That
The
was
world
glitched,
record is
right?
11 minutes glitched, yeah.
That's so insane.
And the
though.
glitches in that game are weird because you just basically just exploit the jumping
Yeah.
Yeah.
mechanics
That's,
in the items, but still, yeah.
that's
It's pretty
interesting.
insane.
I'm looking at the estimated time to beat Doom. It's 50 minutes.
Wow.
That's
What about Resident Evil?
an hour 40.
Resident
Wow.
Evil 4 was I've played on Steam. I think I have like 50 something hours on Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil games are so good.
That
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 specifically is probably
Yeah.
my favorite one.
4
Yeah.
was very, very good.
I Resident Evil and Silent Hill are those games that
Mm.
are like they do horror in such a different way, and it's like incredibly good.
Yeah. I don't even know that I would really consider Resident Evil a horror game. I mean, to some extent at some points. but
Adventure. Like what?
I mean,
do you-
it's a zombie game.
I mean, it's technically
I'd say, like,
technically a horror
thriller.
game, right?
I don't know. I don't really consider it a horror game. I don't think there's that much scary about it. I consider Nightmare House a horror game.
Oh yeah. Well,
That's
But I don't think I consider like and that goes for like, other monster movies and things like that.
sure.
What am I thinking of? Like what's that one, like The Blob, the old one?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Mm.
Like monster movies,
Well, like
I don't
the-
really consider horror.
what about like The
movies.
Thing?
Yeah.
There's more of a psychological thing in that
Psychological
movie, I
horror is
think.
what that is. Yeah.
But ones that are games or movies that are centered on the monster being the scary thing.
Like
Yeah.
Tremors.
That, yeah, I don't really
But what
consider
about,
that a horror.
well, I was gonna say Babadook, but I guess it's not really centered on
You were gonna say what?
the
Babadook.
Babadook.
Oh, okay.
Ba-
I couldn't understand what you were saying at first.
I like that movie.
That movie is extremely good.
So
I
you're
don't know
saying
if that's
that
really
like
kinda-
traditional monster movies aren't like horror to you?
Yeah.
Like they should just be monster movie.
Yeah.
Like there should be a genre that's just monster movie.
Yeah, and like Resident Evil, I mean, it's not really. Usually, at times, it's not that suspenseful. Like you're not it doesn't put you in a state of fear, right? Like things jump out and scare you, but it's not like a.
You don't feel like a sense of dread.
Yeah, but like when you're playing Nightmare House, you're just
Yeah.
you're just on edge to the point where something comes up and you just chuck your mouth across it, you know.
Well,
But
that's
you
like
know
the
that
same.
from experience, then, Darren.
The
Yeah.
games like Outlast and stuff like that.
I would consider that horror.
Where
Yeah.
you're just like the whole time it's just dark and
Yeah.
you like don't know what's behind doors and stuff.
That
Yeah.
game was.
But I guess what I really like about like the Resident Evil and Silent Hill series is that they sparked like these movie
Yeah,
series too. Which
true.
say what you will about the movie series, but
I like the Resident Evil.
the
movies.
have you seen Silent Hill movies?
Not really.
They're like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
I mean-
the Resident Evil movies were.
I like the Resident. I mean,
They weren't like. Don't get me wrong. I didn't think that like necessarily they were great stories or anything like that.
I mean it's like a
but-
rough adaptation of it. though.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
it's
not
so
like
it's
a-
not like a linear, like the movies don't necessarily, they
Oh.
loosely follow the same universe, but it's
Yeah,
not
it's like the Umbrella Corporation
Yeah.
still infected
Yeah.
people, and then she's still doing whatever
and
she's
then
doing.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going on after that? But
Some
yeah.
mutations and whatever.
and the movies don't necessarily like follow each other on they don't
Yeah.
all cover the exact same storyline expanding
Yeah, their
upon each
paths
other.
I don't
go
think
in
I've
different
seen them
directions.
all.
It's weird.
I don't think like how many are
I
there
haven't
now?
seen the newest one.
I can't tell you how many there are because they all blend together.
There's
for
like
me,
7 or
honestly.
8, I think, but
Wow.
I haven't
That's-
seen the newest one, so I don't know.
Seems a
There's
bit
just one on
extensive.
TV, and I'm like, oh look, it's Resident Evil. I don't
Yeah.
really know which one it is.
I mean, I watch them when they're on. Like they're decent movies, but definitely nothing that I'm like.
The scene that pops in my head when I think about Resident Evil movies is like when they're in the Umbrella Corporation and then the laser like cheese
Yeah.
cutter.
Yeah.
that's good stuff.
That's in the first movie, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think it is.
Probably.
Goodness gracious.
Whatever, man.
I'm dying.
Either way.
I really need
But
to
yeah.
get my stuff together.
So, when we're going back to this charity stuff, do you think that would you be interested in running like a charity thing if we ever got big enough?
I definitely think it's. I'm literally wearing a Feeding America shirt. That's kind of ironic. I definitely think it's something to be considered. I mean, and games are doing it more and more frequently. Like we just saw Overwatch do it with the Pink Mercy skin.
Yeah.
And I think they raised like
The breast cancer
a
skin.
ton. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think I saw someone say that they raised 20 million or something like that.
That's
like,
insane.
insane. Like that's an insane number. That's
And that's $15 one pop. one skin
Right.
is $15, and they
Yeah.
raised $20 million from that.
It's
Yeah.
pretty. So I definitely think it's something to be considered in the future. I mean, I've been, a proponent for helping, where we can, and I think if we're ever in a position where we can do something like that, I think it'd be kind of we would be misplaced to not take advantage
Yeah.
of that opportunity.
I'm not gonna be the one to sit here and say that I don't want to help charity.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that.
What are you, Jeff
That's a
Bezos?
tough question. Should
Yeah.
That's really true. Like, how is there no kickback from that? I
I
don't want to dive into that topic just because we talked about
I
it
just
last
love
week, but it's
how
still
we
so
just knock
annoying.
on him every single time. I hope this lands on his desk or something.
somehow, just like, you won't believe what 9 people saw. Like, this is the end of us,
Our podcast is going to.
And then at the same time, we ask people to buy Amazon Prime to subscribe.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't escape Jeff, dude. Like,
He's everywhere, man.
Jeff Kaplan, Jeff Bezos. I know which one I prefer. You decide. Did it actually go to the breast skin because it was found that most of those places doing those things.
Yeah, I think it was.
I don't think they took anything from
That
it.
it was nothing. It was
I'm
100%
curious.
donation to the breast cancer foundations.
And take any money from donation. I guess that's.
Matador, you're my favorite, man. Love this guy.
This cannot be the. Right
I'll
number.
give you a shout out, Matador, since you like story guys
Matador's
so much.
here.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, he
in
is.
chat right now.
Oh, dude.
He's only here for a second. He's watching like the best series ever, so it's
the
fun.
third Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
Wow, dude.
that's a good movie. I'll come
That's
watch
a
it with
great
you.
movie, dude. Can we watch together that tonight, Matador? You
Jump
can
on-
watch with
jump
us.
on.
Well, honestly, Matador, you donate $5, we'll put a webcam on in our downstairs and we'll watch it with you.
Honestly,
Sell out Sunday.
I'll just fly to wherever you are and watch with you. Why
Yeah.
don't we just do that instead? We don't need to work tomorrow, right?
I mean, yeah. I'm gonna stay quiet on the job thing for now because that's shaky territory there. But
Well, you know what? It's fine.
it happens. Okay, Pink Mercy Skin is raised. I'm not really sure, honestly.
I
10
don't
million.
think they took anything from
Yeah,
it.
I don't
no.
think they did too.
It's they didn't really have any cost in doing it. I mean, they probably spent. I don't even know.
They're all employed anyways. They just had one of their designers.
I mean, it probably cost the studio $1,000 maybe to release it, if that.
It's
And-
just a reskin too,
and-
so
and
it's not
the-
like it's a.
You know how it goes, Matador. Welcome back. And that's probably just a huge tax write-off for them too. So they're probably
Yeah.
just like whatever,
Yeah.
But I don't. Yeah, I mean, to answer your question, I definitely think it is something to be considered. Hopefully, as popularity goes up, we can, start thinking about some campaigns or something that we could do, and have to agree on, obviously, an organization. I will definitely be supporting my boys over there at Feeding America, but we can decide what we want to do when that came down to
You
it.
can run multi stuff too. It's not like
Oh,
you have
yeah.
to single one out.
Absolutely,
I
agree.
like the ones where people donate to whichever one they want to,
Yeah.
or all of them.
I'm gonna give a recommendation to Matador. After you watch Lord of the Rings, if you want that image to stay that pure, don't watch the Hobbit.
Don't watch the
series.
Hobbits.
'Cause
Hobbits
they're
were literally
garbage.
children's books, and then they made them into movies, so it feels like it feels like childish, I guess.
Right.
I mean, they're good movies if you take them for what they're supposed to be, but if you want the serious tone of the Lord of the
I
Rings, then you need to not watch them.
I think I'd enjoy it if I had never seen Lord of the Rings,
Yeah,
but like the bar was set so high. And then
but
I
you go
watched-
into the expectation going to watch The Hobbit is, oh, it's going to be this dark.
I want to go back in
movie.
time, and I want to go see The Phantom Menace when it comes out in theaters.
Darren,
Yeah,
can we
like
talk?
at
Can we?
premiere.
We're going to talk about this for a second because
Are we?
my dad told me that when he saw that in theaters after, like, the original through, like, he watched it, like, 2 days after it came out, I'm pretty sure, and he was just like, why? Why? And I saw, like, episode 3 in theaters with my dad.
Yeah.
and I cried.
Yeah,
because
but that
Anakin
was-
turned into Darth Vader. 'Cause
but that
I didn't
was-
know.
Spoilers.
Think about that.
dude.
I mean, episode 3 was. I mean, I'm not saying. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not really saying that it's a good movie, but it's the best of the prequels.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. The Clone Wars.
I guess that does have more Jar
You
Jar
can't
Binks.
tell me. You can't tell me that Obi-Wan versus General Grievous down in that
Yeah.
weird bunker thing wasn't. Hello there is the best quote that Ewan McGregor's ever said in a movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's hard to argue with.
And he rides on this lizard thing up this wall for some reason. We don't know. And then all the Jedis get killed.
Yeah.
You know.
So, Darren, do we want to talk about the conversation we've had at different points across like the last 3 years about how we really want to be able to rewatch stuff for the first time?
Oh, dude, we could.
Yeah, dude.
That's a good topic.
Me and you have had this conversation many
Several
times.
times. It's wow. Oh, you're not in our time zone. It's 1 a.m. here. He stays up to 2 a.m. to watch us.
3 a.m.
Or yeah, I guess.
No, 4 a.m. If he's just starting the third movie, it's like it's super
no,
long.
I meant for us.
Oh,
Like when
yeah.
he watches our podcast. That's,
I guess so, dude.
I
Where is he?
respect that.
Where is he from? He or she? I don't know who it's from.
He's in
Scotland?
Scotland.
Oh, I'm flying to you right now. I'm gonna get a ticket. We'll be fine. Well, I couldn't remember. I knew it was. Oh no, I thought it was gonna. I was gonna say Italy because I remember
there
him
was
saying
another
last
guy.
time.
There was another
Another
guy
guy's
from
from
Scotland.
Scotland.
I do remember that.
Yeah, the first podcast.
He hasn't
we
been
had.
here though. He was only here on the first. That was like our first test podcast. I
Oh,
don't even
yeah.
think that was actually one of the.
No, that
pilot
was just the
seasons.
test ones.
We were
Yeah.
just streaming it, messing
Yeah.
around with it, getting stuff
video
figured out, but-
bugging out the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, this topic is an interesting one. So it was kind of spurred when we really started getting into anime and we watched Death Note. You don't have to apologize. Everyone makes mistakes. Look at me.
Look at your mom.
Wow.
Love you, buddy.
So I'm just gonna continue where I left off. So we had watched Death Note, and I'm shook. Dude. I'm shook.
Man, that was
That
I'm
was
sorry.
ruthless, man.
I went for the throat on that one. I apologize.
Wow, dude. Okay, so
Clip
anyway, yeah, clip it. Your boy. Oh, so we had watched Death Note and we finished that pretty quick there. And
Darren knows he's a mistake.
Whoa. I'm not gonna comment.
I'm only saying that because his
Wow.
mom's in chat and she knows.
yeah, we all know. this. No.
Darren knows.
Joke,
Hey,
joke,
Darren
joke.
shakes his head like he knows.
Hey, we all have those happy little mistakes every now and then.
Oh,
Happy accidents.
at Bob Ross, dude. The go RIP. No, dude, you're not a mistake. No doubt about it. You're a god. So,
Lol.
Matador, I am Story Guy's mom. Lol. You gotta love it, honestly.
I do.
My mom doesn't talk. I have a feeling she just opens it up when it like first starts, types a message to make me think she's watching and then leaves. Like I have a theory. Prove me wrong, mom. I guarantee nothing is said.
I feel like she would have said something because of what I said.
Yeah.
Unless she's just so shook, she's just staying there like,
Like
how did he
we can
know?
see the viewers, can't we?
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
That's-
she's
yeah.
just not in here.
Wow, she pops in and say hi, and then she
Your
pops out.
hypothesis was correct, Guido.
That's pretty messed up. Anyways, Death Note's really good. We want to rewatch it again without ever having seen it.
And
right?
after we had this conversation, this conversation originally started because of Death Note.
Yeah.
Which, if you haven't seen, it, you should go watch it. It's very good.
Death Note.
It's on Netflix.
I don't know.
I
Top
think it
3
is.
anime of
It's
all
on
time.
Netflix or Hulu. I don't remember. One of the two.
Yeah.
But pretty good. That's what spawned our conversation of trying to erase our memories so that we could watch it again. But the problem is selectively erasing memories.
Right.
So
So
that's where it
what
gets-
was the original idea? Like just electroshock until you're
Hold on a
until you're
minute.
dead.
Yeah.
Wait,
pretty
they've
much.
tried that before. It didn't work.
Well,
It works if you fry your brain.
Well, yeah.
You know, they come back.
I think
eventually.
we discussed just hitting each other in the head until we get amnesia.
Yeah. Yeah. So there were a lot of like, barbaric ways to go about it. I forget, there was one just like, I think at one point I had said just put my head in a microwave until it just doesn't work anymore. Like,
Brain cancer?
yeah, basically, like, I don't know. Just trying to think of a way that we can rewatch, just one of the best shows. And
You okay, Darren?
Darren's thinking about that. We're gonna have to watch that episode of South Park now, aren't we? Like, is that what you're thinking about? Is that what
Yeah.
you're...
What episode are you thinking of? Are we thinking of the same episode?
Yeah, where you can't get in the door.
No.
That's the
I
one
was
I'm
thinking of the episode where Cartman tries to give himself amnesia.
Oh. Oh. Well, when I had talked about the microwave, and then you talked about
Yeah, I can see where you got that from.
Yeah.
Hey, that Bob Ross in chat.
Bob
Yeah, dude.
Ross, dude, go. And
Brent, what are you doing here?
so it evolved. So when I was in college, I was a psychology major, right? So I took a class about like cognitive psychology, and we talked about memory and stuff like that. And I'm like, we talked about a thing that's basically used to like inhibit like specific parts of your brain, and it's used to like test regions of your brain to see what they're used for, right? So I'm like, dude, maybe this is our key to success. The main problem is like memory is not in one part of the brain, but like, we could figure that out, right? Like, that wouldn't be that hard. Maybe we can turn off memory.
We figured out motion capture in a day, so.
Yeah, dude, like,
Yeah.
what is it? Brain anatomy can't be that much harder. I wouldn't assume.
No, dude, it's basically just electrical engineering.
Dude,
Yeah,
all we have to do is
basically.
read about it online.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm sure it's out there. I mean, the amount of like hours I've spent like just being like, how can I erase memory to like watch things for the first time? Like, it's genuinely a lot. Because I get to the point where I'm like, there's nothing good left out there.
Now, do you get yourself in a loop here where you erase your memory and you watch the thing for the first time, but you forgot that you erased your memory, and then you just keep
You're
doing
in
it
an
again,
endless
watching,
loop.
and you literally binge watch a show until you die of old age.
I'd be okay with that.
What show would you pick for that, Darren? Here's a
Ooh,
question.
that's a-
there you go.
That's a good question.
There
dude.
you
I
go.
don't know.
Mind blown, dude.
That's
So
that's
if
a- that's a
so
hard
basically
question to
is the
answer.
question like if I had to watch one show forever?
We'll do. If you had to watch one show or one movie forever, what would you pick?
Can it be a movie series?
Yeah.
Okay. This is still tough. I'll let you go first, Aaron, because I
Man,
don't
I don't know.
I don't have a good
That's a
answer. I have a
hard
couple.
one.
I have a couple in my head, but
It had to be
I'm-
something that's like
I'm leaning
long
towards
enough
like
to.
I'm leaning towards like Sons of Anarchy or something.
okay.
Because it's got a lot of seasons.
Yeah.
Dude, and I don't even know. Maybe even something like Parenthood.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Mm.
dude. Parenthood's good.
Yeah. That's got a lot of seasons, too. That's got like 8 seasons, I think.
Parenthood's one of those shows that like no, Gilmore
This is
Girls.
tough.
I'm with Ian.
Gilmore Girls.
Gilmore
Wow.
Girls, yeah, for sure.
You
That's
guys
the
are
one series I
deciding.
would watch.
I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
That's
I'm-
disgusting.
that's
It's
my
got
vote.
like
That's my
everything.
vote.
It's
Yeah.
so funny. It's super witty written. Acting's pretty good.
Cody doesn't like Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, seen like one episode. Wasn't a fan.
Okay, well, you can't just watch one episode.
You watch
Yeah,
what?
I
You watch
mean-
like the first episode?
I mean, I have no idea, honestly. I wasn't paying attention, but we'll see.
Darren, look at the camera. Switch to your cam and shake your head. That's it, Cody. There you go.
I think if I
That
had
was
to
a delayed reaction, but hey,
It's
we got
fine.
it.
Yeah, it's fine.
they understand. They got it. I think if I had to pick a show, I think it'd be Doctor Who.
Oh,
Gilmore Girls.
yeah. But I think I still go with Gilmore Girls. Doctor Who is so good though. Fantastic. It's still going on though.
Because Doctor Who has all the the mini movies too, that are part of the series.
All right. Well, what about movies now, Darren?
So now
movies?
one movie or series.
Hold on. Let's go. Okay.
Are we
Hold
talking
on.
a movie series or a movie?
Anything.
Both.
Any.
Either or.
I'm picking Star Wars. All of it.
I'm definitely not picking Star Wars. You know what you want, Cody? Because I don't really know yet.
Movie.
I think I'd pick Star Wars.
Movie series.
Maybe Harry Potter. I don't really like a
good.
whole lot of movie series, to be honest. So I think I'd go with Harry Potter.
I don't even know.
Oh, do you see Matador flirting with your mom? And then saying, Darren, you were about to call me daddy? Matador, I'm about to mod you because of that. That's the best thing I've ever seen, dude. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Wow.
I like how we give the tat glam too.
That's
golden.
I think our new goal is to make
Ooh,
enough
Fast
money.
and Furious. Yeah,
that's-
I'm with our Fast and Furious.
That's pretty true, honestly.
So
Fast and Furious
while
is
we're on the
good.
topic of movies, all of us love movies. We go see a movie like once a week usually.
Yeah.
We just watched Sicario for the first time.
That was very good.
Oh yeah.
Last week. The second one comes out on Friday. So that's on my list for movies to watch this week, along with Incredibles 2, which I still haven't seen, sadly. But
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Sicario is fantastic. If you haven't watched it, it's like I don't know, it's kind of a cop movie, but not really.
It's hard to explain.
It's hard to explain. It's about cartels and stuff, but it's
Yeah.
very.
I mean, it's in relation to like government officers.
it's a drug
and
war
stuff.
basically.
I guess maybe not cop, but
It's like a joint operation.
it's pretty good though.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised with the acting in that movie. I did not expect it to be good, and it was.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see the second one. When did that first one come out? Do you know? Ian, off the top of your head?
2016.
Oh, it's recent. Okay.
I thought it was older than that. I thought it was like late 2000s.
Let's find out. 2015.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't honestly. Yeah. For some reason, I thought it was a bit older.
It's got a
than that,
93
but-
on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
Mhm.
That doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot to me, but
Well, yeah.
I think that's a solid rating. I mean, I think it's pretty good.
Sicario
Sicario
is the movie we just mentioned.
Yeah, we can type it in chat.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
basically
like this. Maybe?
it's basically kind of like about the
It's the drug war.
U.S. government's involvement and lack of acknowledgement of involvement in the drug
Yeah.
war
But it's very like real.
with the cartels.
It seems very like it probably actually happened, kind of.
I'm
Like some
sure
of
that
it
to
happened.
some extent it's based on a true story, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in everything. People aren't creative anymore. Everything's based on a true story. Oh man, it's getting good, dude.
It's
You might
yeah,
want
but,
you
yeah.
might want to be a little careful because he has the Full Send Studios account. He could ban you, and I don't want you to go, Matador. I was actually just about to say when we start, when our game makes us trillionaires or whatever, Matador, we're gonna have to fly you out to be a guest on the podcast because you're an OG,
yeah.
dude.
Mhm.
You're an OG, and I just think that's
Yeah,
honestly.
just think in a year from now when we have a bunch of people watching this and Matador is still the homie in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's up, Matador? You're my dude.
Yeah. Yeah, Matador, when we get huge and we have to mod you, I hope you don't do what those people did last week.
Yeah.
Be rough, dude. I think we can trust you though. You're a real one, dude. Just
Dude-
go day
Dude,
one.
Matadors
you know
are
what I mean?
whips in Tim chat.
Yeah, that's pretty true, honestly.
Yeah.
That they
That
have
number
that.
one
They have
mod,
that
dude.
chemistry, dude.
Yeah. You
That
can watch all our
chemistry.
stuff on your computer and get the viruses before we do.
Exactly. That.
You can't hack on my
Yeah.
computer and hacking yours instead.
Yeah. Hacked it. Got him. Haha. So anyway,
Get on my chat, Grant.
Go, more than your stream. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I've always been. Just on this shit. I can't leave. I love this dude, man. Matador, do you have like any marketable skills? You can come live with us, dude.
I don't have much more room.
We don't
in
have
my
any more
house.
room. You can sleep in the
I
basement.
mean, dude, like I sleep on a couch. I'd be willing to give it up. We have a love seat upstairs. I can move to that. You know what I mean? You can take the couch. I'm here to support you.
Wait, how old are you? That's the first of all.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, he can lick his elbow.
That's impressive. I don't believe you.
Darren, lick your elbow right now.
No,
Do it.
I know I can't.
Cody, do it.
No, dude, I'm almost 19. He's good to go, dude.
Is it just me or does light keep flashing?
Yeah, it keeps flashing.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, it's flickering a bit. But whatever. You know what?
Probably.
It's fine.
I mean, how long
This
has that light
podcast-
bulb you think been in there?
This podcast
years.
has taken a
I actually
odd
can't
turn
answer
today
that.
for this week.
Yeah.
What's
That's
that?
okay,
Sure.
you know?
Oh yeah,
It's taken an
I
odd
mean,
turn.
honestly,
I mean,
I'm
we
fine
started
with
off
that.
with no audio, so we brought it back a little bit.
Yeah, we brought it. It's all about you
Yeah,
know
when you start
comeback
bad,
season.
when you start bad, you bring it back.
It
It's
can
all
only
good. You know what?
maybe that's the new meta. We just start every podcast muted, and then it can only get better.
And you wait for people to say, hey, your
do
audio's
we
messed up.
do we start the podcast muted or just with really bad audio? Because I don't know if I can reproduce that.
Yeah.
Because I don't really know what happened.
Well, we can just like
I'm curious to listen to it and see like how bad it is.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a way we can just
Like
we have webcams. They both probably have.
I
mics.
literally like opened the audio settings and then they said it sounded better. I don't know why.
I mean, that's what it's all about, dude.
we can just like do one of these over the mics. And just cover the mic a little bit and kind of
do a little
God.
ASMR.
ASMR. ASMR me, daddy. Anyway, so I want to jump back about 15 minutes and clear up the I want to watch a show for the first time again.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need $85,000. That is how much. What is this machine called?
A machine?
Yeah. So
Yeah, there's like a machine that does it.
what is it called? They had one at my school. Remember that conversation?
Wait.
Transcranial magnetic stimulation. So let me just look up.
TMS. That sounds dangerous.
Yeah.
That sounds like something I don't want to do.
Well, he's gonna be the test. Cody's gonna be the test.
mean,
Why don't we
so.
just get like one of what is that chamber that makes you feel like you're
sensory?
Oh,
yeah,
deprivation
sensory
tank?
deprivation? I really want to do
Yeah.
that. Like I really want to do that.
Did you see? I forget what. Good Mythical Morning did
Yeah.
that. Okay. See, I want to buy one. So this is we're gonna start adding in a command. I'm gonna
cheese chip.
I'm gonna add a
Is it
command.
like a Cheez-It, but for
Wait,
Europe?
what?
Is it a European cheese it?
€1. Honestly, €1.
Does Europe have Cheez-Its?
What the? I'm so confused.
Does Europe have cheese it?
The chat
Cheetos.
this is more chat than we've had in
Cheese
a while.
chips or
Normally it's just
Cheetos,
us talking to
dude.
Matador.
I don't want to say that because I feel like that's like TOS in another language.
Yeah.
I gotta plug that into Google Translate or something.
But yeah, dude, Matador. I've been to Europe before. Never been to Italy.
Oh no, he said it means hi to Kareem, but I'm gonna double check that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably for the
I
best.
don't-
I'm gonna double check what that means.
So what is this machine, dude? Cody, give us the
So it's
TMS machine.
It's kind of complicated.
Okay.
Okay,
Give
so
us the I don't have a psychology degree.
effectively right. So kind of like what Darren was talking
That
about.
does
earlier.
apparently mean hello there is what Google.
Hello there,
Translate's
Ewan
telling me.
McGregor?
It's
Hello there.
Turkish.
Turkish.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
that's what Google Translate's
I
telling me.
don't. Hi.
I'm all about it though. Follow the stream, dude.
What was I gonna say? So okay, TMS stands for transcranial magnetic stimulation. Effectively, what it is, right? So you have like electrons and stuff in your brain, and then you have like chemicals in your brain. Basically, what that does is it shuts off communication from one part of your brain to another, right? So no like information can be processed in one sector.
So I
of your
can talk,
brain.
but I can't move my hands.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. Not really. It's really not very specific at this point. It's more just like, I'm going to turn off this part of your hippocampus so you can't stand up, and then I can do whatever you want, or I want you. You know, it's more something
That
like
took
that.
a very dark turn very quickly.
No, but it's a thing that's actually, so it's a thing that's used in like normal people, right? So like people that don't necessarily like have any sort of like cognitive.
Normal is a social construct.
Normal?
Let me rephrase. People that don't have any like physical abnormality in their brain, right? And so you like, well, I would put it on Ian, right? Because Ian is probably the most normal one in this room, and I would be like, Ian,
Yeah, I'm a genius, so.
and I'd be like, Ian, can you say hello? And he would be like, hello, and then I would be like, watch this, and I'd click a button, and then I'd be like, Ian, can you say hello? And he'd go,
I'd turn into Grant.
Ian.
Can I get that? Yeah. Are we transferring to
Oh,
story time?
that's a good story. I guess it's story.
Matador,
time.
stick around. It's story time.
We need $85,000.
All right, so
For one of those to make me say,
so this little Cody's dying over there.
Cody's dying.
So our friend Grant, GD Miller 95 in chat, doesn't know how to talk. Either he doesn't know how to talk or he doesn't know how to speak English. It's one of the two. Maybe a combination. He generally likes to trip over his words, not know how to say things. And Ian over there used to work at a local restaurant, right?
Yeah.
And you were telling us one time about something you made, and you called it the Ian Eiler special,
Yeah,
right?
dude.
Okay, so
It's a barbecue.
we go to this
and buffalo chicken
restaurant,
sandwich.
and we knew that Ian was working in the kitchen that night, right? And Grant, the waitress, is taking our orders and everything, and Grant is like, I can't even hardly replicate it because I can't sound that bad, but like, he's like, can I get the Ian Eiler special? And she's like, I don't know what that is.
Basically, that didn't exist.
Yeah.
I made it one time for
Yeah.
myself for dinner
Yeah.
at work, and
And
oh man, it was just bad.
I don't remember what he ended up ordering, but it was like one of the most awkward moments I've ever witnessed. She just didn't know what to do. She's like, I don't know what that is.
She was one of those she was one of those people that was like very bad with confrontation too.
Yeah.
So she probably handled it really badly. Like she was awkward by herself. So
That's just so unfortunate.
when you put her and Grant together, you know bad things are just bound to happen at that point.
We make fun of Grant.
That
for
was like
a lot.
4 years ago, and
Yeah.
Grant still probably hears that on like a daily basis
Oh yeah.
when he can't talk.
So
I said it to him today at lunch actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's sort of.
it happens a ton.
Yeah. So, wow. What just happened in the last like half hour, honestly?
I don't know. I was put in a TMS machine. I can't remember. anymore.
Dude, like the amount that I want one of those
I do not want you to have one of those.
is pretty high.
I feel like it'd be
How much?
pretty cool, but-
How mobile are those?
I
things?
want to see someone.
it
use it
depends
on
what you
someone.
get. So like you can get like
I can't go to sleep. I gotta go to work like 2 hours after this.
Yeah, you do.
oh, you work tonight?
Yeah.
10 to 4, baby.
Yeah.
Mm. This is like a
Oh,
legit
it's
one.
like a dentist
So
chair.
to buy one, this is one of those.
I've seen it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
85,000.
I think
That was like the cheapest price we found,
yeah.
and that's
Oh.
probably not a real one.
This
So-
one is, I think.
Most of the
This
places
one-
are like,
Dude, 2 metal sticks and
gotta have
a
the
car
connection.
battery works a lot better than that.
Like the most. Of
that
these
reminds
you
me
need
of
to
me
work
and
in a
Jack's
hospital.
plan to build a lightsaber.
Oh,
no. dude.
Yeah, dude.
Oh
That's
my
a
gosh.
thing.
Do you
Do you
Someone
remember
did
when we
that.
built
were-
a shotgun out of a pipe and cinder blocks?
Dude, the lightsaber though was gonna be real bad. We had a plan, and it was scientifically possible, but not possible for a human to do because you would have died of radiation in assembling it.
Yeah.
But if you had a robot to assemble it, you'd be good.
But radiation suits would be fine, right?
Well, yeah,
For a
but you
couple
might
years.
die from an explosion too. So
Well,
you know, I don't know how well a radiation
can die
suit
from an
protects you
explosion
from an
anytime, you know?
explosion, but yeah, I suppose
an
that's
explosive resistant radiation suit.
true. Yeah.
Power armor from Fallout is basically what that is.
But it involved a lot of car batteries. When I say a lot, I mean like 12 car batteries and like 12 microwaves, and all of the microwaves safety features disabled. It was so the big problem with the lightsaber was getting it into a wieldable state, where you could actually carry it around without having to carry 12 car batteries.
Hold on a second.
So the prototype was going to use that. And then
For
we
all
were
the
gonna
government
refine it.
officials that are about to listen to this, I don't condone any of it.
Well, we didn't do it. It was all on paper. You know, it was gonna work.
Yeah,
it
well,
would have worked.
you know what, Darren? People plan a lot of things that don't happen. And they're still illegal.
You see chat, Cody?
No.
That's accurate, though.
But yeah,
Especially me. I'm in a corner.
Wait
I
a
can't get
minute.
out.
maybe
What am I
once
doing?
once we're trillionaires, we're gonna make that lightsaber.
Don't they already exist? Don't they have
To
workable
some
lightsabers
extent.
to an
I mean, it's
extent?
basically just like
Wow.
a plasma rod.
Yeah.
But the problem is containing the plasma in a rod shape that you can actually swing
Whip around
as a
without getting it
sword.
on yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, dude.
That's fair.
The hospital says that it will cost about $15,000, dude.
Well,
We
that's
can-
easy. Darren makes that in like
Is that
a
like to
month.
buy one or rent
Yeah.
one? Can we rent one? That's the question.
Okay.
Can I rent
Because
a...
if it's like a permanent memory loss, then we only need to go do it every time we finish the show. You know?
Right.
No, listen, we can just like one of us can just get their head cut open by a brain surgeon and poke around in there a little bit.
Well, I'm not quite ready for that.
Have you ever watched like a brain surgery?
I'll do that when they're gonna
Yes.
put my consciousness in a robot.
Have you watched that, Cody? And they're like, they have them talking to them to make sure that they're putting places back in the right place so that they can talk when they're done. Have you seen that, Darren?
No.
Brain surgeries are like open. There's no it's only local anesthesia, because there's no.
It's loud.
There's
dude.
no.
They say that's like people's like biggest problem with it. It's like when they take a saw to your skull, it's really
Yeah.
loud.
It's
I
not
can
painful.
imagine.
It's not painful at all. Beyond the noise of saws going through your skull, but like so when they're doing it, your head's open obviously, and then they have another surgeon talking to you to make sure that the neurosurgeon is putting the pieces of your brain in the right place so that you can talk and move after. It's really interesting to watch. It's actually insane to watch. Like when they pull, so like when someone has a brain tumor, so like if you have a brain tumor the size of a golf ball, obviously it's pushing your brain away from where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So they pull that golf ball sized tumor out, and the brain has to regrow that, and it actually regrows fairly rapidly, actually. But they need to make sure that you can still do things. So like they don't put your skull back together, and then sew you up, and you wake up the next day and you're Grant.
Wow.
Ordering the Ian Eiler special.
Yeah.
I
But
can't
it's really
find
cool.
it. So
good stuff.
Darren,
What?
to rent one, it is $300 a month, $250 a month.
Oh, dude, we can do that.
Apparently,
That's
they
less than
send
my
it to
house
your
payment.
they send it to your doctor,
They send one to your doctor.
and then it's a prescription. So your doctor writes a prescription.
Okay,
and you get
so
it for
how
3
many more
months.
years do you need to go to college to be able to be my doctor?
4, 3.
Like 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just need to go to school for 4 more years, then you can be my doctor, and
Yeah.
then I can get that machine, and then we can watch
So,
Death Note for the first time.
Are those just in hospitals, or
Yes.
are those like in like psych wards and stuff?
Like my school has some
Oh, okay.
or one.
Shout out
But
to Kent State.
Those are like the very like dumbed down version.
Shout out to Kent State for letting people watch things for the first time again.
Yeah. So, well, that was discussed. Is there any way that I can get one from my school to here without breaking like federal crimes?
So is that like a realistic thing that can happen with that machine,
No.
or is that just you guys assuming
No.
that if you poke around enough that it'll happen?
That's assuming that we'll poke around enough and permanently erase all of our memory,
Yeah.
and
Like
the
like
show will go with it.
like what would realistically have to happen is you would
You're carpet bombing your brain to get rid of Death Note for the first time.
like effectively what you're doing is kind of the reverse of like electroshock. Like you're basically, because electroshock is just like most of your brain, right? And this is like you put it on a part of your brain. There's not enough power to actually do that, but you amp it up with like a car battery, and then you just go right here, but a lot, and just permanently fry connections to your brain. Then you're probably good. Call me if you make it happen. I need to.
Matador's being a savage today. I like it.
No, that's a good thing. 'cause
I
he
really
wants to
like
watch
it.
him again.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, dude.
Maybe still
I'm
being a
free if you
savage,
need
though.
a fresh brain. I mean, like I'm always down to I'm trying to write my dissertation here soon. So
Dude, we just got to be like Apple in that episode of South Park and just include it in our TOS.
Oh yeah, dude.
And
Dude.
then we can just take people whenever we want.
I mean,
'Cause
The
they agreed to.
Human centipod or whatever it was called.
Human centipad.
Centipad.
like in the TOS for the gather, it's like 50 pages in, it just says you are willing to participate in an experiment where we put the gather to real life. I accept the terms of agreement.
Just kidding. We're Skynet now. We're Skynet now.
We Skynet now, boys.
Yeah. So
That's
yes,
good stuff.
I know.
People would still sign it. They'll be like, all right. People like Jack would be like, oh, absolutely. The apocalypse is happening.
Well, nobody's actually has anybody actually ever read an entire TOS that's not like a lawyer?
I have tried to read as much as possible, and then I fade out about after the page and a half.
Usually, if I have the option to, I don't even look at it.
There's like an SCP about that too.
Oh, really?
About you're like it's like a software over the internet, and then you accept the terms and conditions, and you like sell your soul to like a demon.
That's
It's pretty cool.
Huh.
It's good stuff.
That's-
SCPs are great, by the way.
Yeah, that's very true.
There's a new SCP game.
I was gonna
out,
talk
isn't
about
there?
that.
Yeah,
it was
Eric was playing
remade. It was
one
there's a
was
new
it?
game.
Is it?
Yeah. SCP new
Containment
game.
Breach?
That's the OG. Secret Laboratory. I think it's like multiplayer. or
Yeah,
something.
it's like there's people that play as SCPs, and there's
Is
people
it
that play as like
free
D-class stuff.
or
Let's find
I don't think so.
I doubt it. Free. Yes,
Whoa,
it is.
look at that!
And it has.
I'm about to try that
we'll
out.
have to try that out sometime. Maybe.
Yeah.
That'll be
Might
our
talk
next
about
game
that
of
That
the
might be
week.
game of the week next week. Who
Maybe,
knows?
unless
We'll
it's
see what happens.
trash, but probably
Yeah.
not, dude, because we like you guys.
That's true.
I think I saw like a while ago that they were remaking Containment Breach in like Unity or something.
It
maybe,
was
or Unreal.
originally made
Originally
in
in
Unity.
Unity.
What was
Yeah.
it? They were remaking it in something.
I mean, they
Maybe
might
it
have
was
just
Unreal.
been
probably just
remaking it
remaking
in a newer version of Unity because it was pretty old.
People are gonna
when
be
they made it
confused.
originally.
SCPs, okay, secure, contain, and protect is a series of like short stories. So it's like the SCP. What's facility? What's it called?
I don't remember.
Anyways, it's like a bunch of short stories that people write about. Like there's the secret organization that contains all these things that happen on our planet that are
a
secret.
good like if you've ever seen what's it called, The Cabin in the Woods,
Yeah,
like that underground place, that's pretty
that's the
reminiscent
SCP.
of it.
SCP Foundation is what it's called.
Yeah.
So it started on like 4chan or something, right? Where there was a bunch of people writing short stories about all these crazy stuff that happened, and then someone took it and made it like an actual website. And there are like 4,000 short stories
Yeah.
that people have written over the years, and they're very, very, very good.
Yeah,
Very
generally when people talk about it, they won't break character. Like people when they're talking about it in the stories and everything, they generally don't. They like don't break character in the sense that they continue to never admit that it's not real.
Yeah, like all of this stuff is real in my eyes. Like
Also-
the people that write it. So like, there's a ton of like they're just so good, so good.
Also, the original was not made in Unity. It was made in Blitz 3D engine,
Ooh.
and then it was remade in Unity, and it looks really good.
So like the zombie plague is in it. So like, it's like your traditional zombie story. But like the whole thing about it is there's like this foundation that's secret, and all of the governments know about it, and they keep it a secret from everyone else. And so like these things happen to people, and all this stuff happens, and this foundation has been tasked to cover it up from the world, basically. And so they're written in ways that make it seem like it's real, like they're briefings, basically. Like, you know, they're very good. If you haven't read any of them, I would recommend you go read some. And if you don't know where to start, just look up, you know, best SCPs.
Yeah, there are. You can spend a lot of time.
I've probably read 500 or 600, if not more. Than, but yeah, they're really good.
So while we're kind of back on the topic of video games with that, I guess we can talk about that new Bethesda lawsuit.
Yeah.
here we go.
I'd like to do that. So, I have. You read more about the actual
Yeah, I read a lot of the actual lawsuit itself.
lawsuit. So, but I guess I can try to summarize it really quick. So basically, I'm just reading off of The Verge. They published an article about it that summarizes it pretty well. So basically, as you know, Bethesda made Fallout Shelter, which was a mobile game, and they are suing Warner Bros. Entertainment, and the creator of, or who is the creator of the new mobile game called Westworld.
Which is from the TV show, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yes. So
The HBO
they
TV show.
they say it is a blatant ripoff of its game, and then according to the lawsuit, which was obtained by Polygon, breached its contract with Bethesda and utilized its restricted access to Bethesda's intellectual property. The lawsuit further alleges that Westworld Mobile rips copyrighted computer code used by Fallout Shelter, as well as highly similar game design, art style, animations, features, and other gameplay elements. This even extends to the bugs present in both games, which I can attest to because mobile games, lol. Um,
Fallout Shelter is good.
but and then kind of to wrap it up, Bethesda is seeking statutory damages, actual damages, behaviors, and Warner Brothers profits and restitution, as well as attorneys' fees and costs.
So is this going to be like PUBG suing Fortnite meme, or is this a
No.
little bit more
So here's
accurate?
So Bethesda's got a really good case here. I think Bethesda will win because I don't think there's any defense against this. So,
Right.
I don't know how much Bethesda is actually suing Warner Bros. So they're suing the studio that made Fallout Shelter. So Bethesda did not make Fallout Shelter. They hired a studio to make it. And then Warner Bros. Hired the same studio to make the...
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you read the actual legal agreement between Bethesda and the other studios called Behavior Studios.
Yeah. Right.
If you read their agreement, it basically outlines that everything that they make is a work for hire for Bethesda, which essentially means that Bethesda reserves all rights to anything they make as a product of that game.
Right.
So all of the source code, the assets, any content related to it, all versions and derivatives.
Right.
That's what it states in the agreement, that they own all versions and derivatives. And what it seems like happened here is that they used a slightly older version of Fallout Shelter to work from.
Mm-hmm.
And because some of the bugs that are present in the Westworld game are bugs that weren't present in the public release of Fallout Shelter, but present in early versions that they had sent to Bethesda.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay.
So it seems like they took an earlier version of the Fallout Shelter game and essentially reskinned it to be Westworld. And obviously, per their agreement, actually Bethesda would own Westworld because it's a derivative of that game.
Wow.
And so they're trying to get it removed from the App Store and Google Play, as well as get damages and everything.
So could they just say we want all the profits from the Westworld games from now on?
They could.
I guess.
I mean, they can sue for whatever they want to. I don't think they have an interest in doing that because I think they want people to play Fallout Shelter instead because they are essentially the same game, just with different.
Fallout Shelter is very good.
Yeah,
it is a fun game.
I think they would rather just remove it and try to pull people to Fallout Shelter because even though they're different storylines, they're very similar in the type of content they provide.
Yeah.
Right.
Have you seen Westworld?
No, but I've heard about it and I know what it's about.
I watched the first season. It's very good.
Bethesda's got a really good case here. Reading through the actual legal documents and stuff, I don't think there's a way they lose that.
Do they have a case against the studio?
I don't know that
Behaviors?
they have a case against them for sure. The question is whether or not Warner Bros was aware of the reuse and their previous agreements with Bethesda and finding out who's really at fault.
Right. Because that's what was curious to me. It seems like the lawsuit should be against Behavior.
Yeah, and it is. It's against both of them.
Oh, it is. Okay.
It's against both of them. Obviously Bethesda is listed as the defendant, and the Behavior and Warner Bros. Are both listed as the plaintiffs. But I don't know how they'll decide. If Warner Bros. Is also at fault, if they're both at fault.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. But I do think that Bethesda wins the case, or at least gets a settlement.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think so, too. I think it's pretty cut and dry if they stole code that was, and they can prove that, which would be pretty easy to do. I don't think there's any way they...
Yeah, well, so the court could, I don't know what the word is, but they could force them to, share the source code for both games and compare them. And that would be obviously, as long as there's enough evidence to convince the court to make that request, and which I think there is, comparing bugs between the games.
Right.
So, I guess we'll see, but I think Bethesda wins that hands down.
Yeah, I agree. It's, I guess, a rough blow for what is it? I already forgot the name of the other company, Warner Bros. But it's kind of whatever probably to them. I don't know how much money they're making off the game. Like, is that
I
going to
don't
be
know.
a big hit?
It's barely
I don't
been
know.
out for a long time. I mean, they
Oh,
probably
that's
were
true.
going to make a lot of money because it's a mobile game, but
Yeah,
it hasn't been out very long.
it's hard to argue with.
I don't even know if it's actually
I think it's
fully publicly released yet. It might be, I don't know, but
I thought it was, but I might be wrong.
but definitely Bethesda's going to win that one.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Because whether or not Warner Bros. Actually takes a hit from it, or if Behavior takes the whole hit, they're definitely in breach of contract and copyright law there.
It is on App Store currently.
Warner Brothers has a
For the
lot
free.
of mobile games.
It looks exactly the same.
Yeah. In some of the news posts about that lawsuit, they had some side by side comparisons.
It is identical.
Yeah.
That's
Art style and everything. But yeah.
The lawsuit, the legal documents actually mention the art style and everything as well,
right.
not just the stolen source code.
Right.
Yeah. So I think I don't think anyone would argue that Bethesda wins that case, but it definitely is interesting that one company would just try to repackage code and then sell it to another one.
I mean,
effectively.
Oh, that's surprising.
So basically, what causes that is so obviously Warner Bros. Hires this studio to create it. I'm sure that they knew that they had created Fallout Shelter.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know that Bethesda would have much of a case if they didn't reuse code.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how well they could pull off suing for artistic style, but I obviously I think Warner Bros. Went with them because they had made Fallout Shelter.
Yeah.
And they were seeking a similar game. I don't know if Warner Bros. Was out to make an exact copy of Fallout Shelter, like what happened, but
do you think
they went with the studio that had the most experience in that?
Yeah.
And obviously the studio is at fault for that. And to some extent, I'm sure there's pressure from Warner Bros. They probably give them a deadline, and they're like, well, we could hit that deadline if we just reuse some of the Fallout Shelter code.
Yeah.
And they, whether even this might not have even been a business decision. This might have been the project manager that was making the game.
Yeah.
And he didn't really know that he was in breach of contract, but
that's interesting.
He knows now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does know now.
I'm sure he does. I'm sure if that's the case that someone lost their job, but
oh yeah,
dude.
I think no matter what, someone at that studio has to lose their job.
Having a bad time.
But I don't know. Interesting to think about with the whole PUBG and Fortnite thing as well. It's kind of annoying. I don't know. I mean, I think in this particular case, I think whatever the studio that made both games is completely at fault, right? But I don't know if there's been any advancement on the PUBG Fortnite thing. I think the timing was interesting of that one, but it's I don't know. It's weird that all these games are just suing each other now. It seems like it's coming at a strange time. Everyone's just out to get money, and maybe it's been that way for a while, but it just seems like
well, I think part of the problem is that when you look at if you go back into the early 2000s and even mid to late 2000s, game development wasn't as accessible as it is now. We couldn't do what we're doing then.
Right.
The tools simply weren't available. They were, if you wanted to use Unreal Engine back then, you had to be a multi-million-dollar studio with previous successful titles, good backing, You didn't have access to these tools. So I don't know that there was, and the people who did have access to these tools were all working with each other.
Yeah.
So there wasn't people to sue each other. Now that it's more accessible, we've got a lot of indie studios and even a little bit beyond studios, maybe a little bit more AA is kind of a term that's used, studios. And you've got more people outsourcing now.
Right.
Than ever before, right?
Yeah.
You've got a lot of studios that are hiring other studios to do animations or whatever. And
PUBG.
then, so what you run into is that studio that did the outsourcing work, you reusing it for another client to cut costs and development time, and not really realizing the contracts that they signed on either side. Maybe let's say that we hired a studio to develop a battle royale mode for a game, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't outline in our contract that we owned everything they make properly, and then they sell it to
EA.
Yeah, to make the Battlefield 5 battle royale. But you know,
imagine if we use
there's just a lot more of that now than what there ever used to be, I think.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a valid point. I mean, it's just unfortunate, I think, that, you know, we always talk about, like, you know, the more content the better, and the fact that companies are, I don't know. I mean, like the Bethesda case is a solid one, but the PUBG versus Fortnite thing, like, I just don't see it. I mean, personally speaking, it seems like they would have a better case against, I don't know, some other realistic battle royale game that's come out lately, because Lord knows there's 50. You know, Fortnite, like, I don't know what they're using. I don't even know what they're suing for. Like, is that an official thing yet?
They were seeking damages, I think, because
their game's better.
Fortnite stealing their ideas, and I think they considered the idea of battle royale their intellectual property,
Which doesn't make any sense because H1Z1 and Arma did it before that.
So I think the main argument that they're trying to make against Epic, the only argument I can see that could possibly work out for them against Epic is that it's made, so PUBG is made in Unreal Engine 4. And I believe at some point throughout the development of it, they worked closely with Epic to implement features in Unreal Engine 4. And I mean, Epic does a lot of that, working with studios that are making Unreal Engine 4. So I think the argument that they might try to make is that, you know, during the development of this, they saw what we were working on before it was released to the public. And then they get them for, like, corporate espionage or something.
Yeah. I think that's really realistically the only thing that they can. I mean, it sounds like effectively they're just suing for a game mode.
That is, but I don't know how realistic that is. But
no, I don't.
That's the only thing I could see them going for and having the slightest bit of a chance.
Well, and also, wouldn't PUBG have had to have communicated with Epic in some way about the game they were making, because they use
not necessarily
Unreal Engine?
You know, so like we're using Unreal Engine 4, right? And you know, when we release, we don't have to tell Epic about it. We have to pay them, you know, royalties and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's not really like a streamlined control process for that.
Yeah, I guess.
But
that's true.
I mean, you know, our game gets big enough and they know we're using Unreal Engine 4 and they can tell for what engine we're using, whether we announce it publicly or not.
Yeah.
And they're like, these guys haven't paid us anything.
Yeah.
Let's sue them.
Right.
I mean, you know.
That's very true. But yeah, I guess I just assumed because it was a bigger launch title that they had some communication.
I'm sure that they did, because I'm sure that they worked out a custom license rather than the default royalties. But
so I guess it says that that PUBG is just suing them for intellectual property theft.
Yeah. Which
I mean, you can't. It's a game mode, right? Like, if that was a thing, whoever
that's like Call of Duty suing Halo for Team Deathmatch.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like, whoever created Team Deathmatch first, theoretically, going off of that lawsuit, could just sue everyone that used the term Team Deathmatch or that mode with a different name in their game, and that just doesn't make much sense to me. You know, but I should have stayed here for a bunch of minutes, and it's been 45 minutes. It's just like, well, understandable. I just love you, Darren, but don't. Okay, well, feels bad, man. I mean, I do my best out here. You know, you don't have to just push me down like that and beat me on the ground. But, do we want to talk about another way that people watching can waste a ton of money in Amazon Prime Day next month? Did we hit on that already?
I mean, we talked about it. We explained what it was and stuff.
Oh crap! I don't even remember that.
It's basically Amazon's Black Friday. Bunch of good deals if you're an Amazon Prime member.
A lot of good deals.
Yeah, usually don't last that long.
No.
So you know, if you're an Amazon Prime member, check it out. If you're not an Amazon Prime member,
you should be.
I recommend it. Free 2-day shipping on pretty much everything. Yeah. Pretty good deals over there.
And Twitch Prime subs too. You know, it's pretty lit stuff. But I just feel like even though I don't like Jeff Bezos, I just feel like I can't not support
I
the
love
things he
Amazon.
does.
Well, I mean, it's like I don't like Windows, but I can't do anything on Linux, so
Yeah,
I kind of have to use it.
sucks. Ben doesn't mind. Sorry.
So when is that? July
Yeah.
10th?
I think 10th. Yeah, I think 10th. Yeah, 10th or 16th. It technically hasn't been announced yet, but I guess Amazon
was the
UK.
one that leaked it. So
Yeah, like Amazon UK or something
Yeah.
changed the banner or something. I buy my American Eagles flex jeans on Amazon.
Dude,
I'm
Let me
dying
tell you.
inside.
those jeans,
Are they?
yes.
Is that a thing?
Yes, dude, they're great.
American.
The only jeans I wear. That's not a
dude,
joke.
I saw.
Oh,
did you see the
oh,
pajama jeans?
Pajama jeans? No.
I literally read that wrong. Like I read that as like he's wearing jeans with like eagles on them.
No. No, like American Eagle.
Oh,
We've been streaming too long.
It's starting to get ugly. It's also getting hot in here. I feel like I'm starting to fall apart even more than I was before.
Well,
I wear American Eagles too.
if you haven't
'cause
heard
I'm
of
large
pajama
and
jeans,
they
you should
fit
just
well.
give them a Google search, check them out.
You
They're pretty
shouldn't.
cool.
Don't do
You
that.
shouldn't.
Why?
I'm a fan of those like cargo joggers though, dude. I don't own any, but those look pretty comfortable.
So the pajama jeans are basically just jeans with a what's the kind of like waist that's elastic? That's the term.
I
I'm
was
for.
waiting. I can stand up. I can model if you want.
But
I'm
they're
not
kind of
gonna do
cool.
that. I'm not gonna do that.
Kyle from FPS Russia wears them.
Kyle
That's
from
where I-
FPS Russia.
Yeah, he wears
From
them. That's where I
FPS.
heard. That's where I heard of him
Kyle
from.
FPS Russia.
What did I say?
From-
You said Kyle from FPS Russia,
Well,
like implying
you know, you know what
that
I
it's a
mean.
country. You know,
You know what? Well,
And
you know
he's,
what I mean.
he's from like
Kyle
Georgia.
from the FPS Russia YouTube channel,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
That's
dead,
better.
Dead channel.
Dead channel.
RIP.
Well,
Not
yeah,
his
but
fault,
everybody still knows it, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
that's where I
because-
heard about it from.
OG YouTube.
Yeah, that is like OG
Yeah.
YouTube. Like, yeah,
And generally, he hasn't ever recommended a bad product, so
that's pretty true. There's a lot. There's a lot of
his,
products. he
see what
has
I liked about it
recommended.
is that he wasn't even sponsored by them. He was just giving a shout out because he likes them. But
Yeah.
he was like, he stands up and he's like showing them, and he's like, yeah, I haven't changed these things for like 2 weeks, and they're fine. Normally, like you wear jeans and they get all stiff and stuff. These are just good,
Yeah.
and you wear them for like a month and don't worry
Oh
about
my god, that's
That's
yeah,
foul, dude.
I know if he recommends a product, it's normally something that I can get behind.
I like all his guns.
Yeah, they're gone now.
Yeah.
Most of them. That's so sad, dude. Why does the American government have to just take away things that are fun?
Take our guns.
Don't take my guns.
Don't take my guns.
Don't touch my. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand.
Merch? We don't have we don't
Sleeveless
have merch.
hoodie.
That is
Full Send Studio sleeveless hoodie.
Is that a thing? Can you buy
Okay,
sleeveless
here's
hoodies?
Matador.
It's
I'm gonna tell you.
definitely a
I'm gonna tell you
thing,
something right now.
Yeah.
If we make sleeveless hoodies, it's specifically for you and only you.
We're gonna
That
make
is a
them.
thing. Why is that a thing?
They're kind of cool, dude. Like,
They're
I'm kinda
they're workout
behind
stuff.
it.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
This one's $6.
$6? We
Yeah,
can't
dude,
compete with
on AliExpress.
Oh well, yeah, it'll be here in 4 months. Wow, dude.
Hey,
Matador,
but
do you want us
talking
to-
about merch though, we'll probably do that on our
Yes.
Kickstarter.
Yes, merch will
Yes.
absolutely be. We've already. It's been a while since I've looked into it, but that is something that's
we
been
have
on the
we've
radar.
had we have a plan for that. Yeah.
Mhm.
I definitely want to do shirts, hats, and hoodies for sure.
What kind of
Maybe
hats, Darren?
More than that.
Trucker hats.
Tap me, bro. That's
What?
true.
Trucker hats.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It worked
Trucker
for
hats,
Trump.
baseball caps.
Do
yeah.
anything, yeah. I've done a little bit of research about it, and we think we can do it like pretty cheap, honestly. So
Yeah.
that will definitely be a thing. Probably around
Further down the
Kickstarter
line,
time, demo time.
It'll probably be right with the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
We'll probably sell the
Bundle
merch
that.
with or bundle it with the Kickstarter.
Right.
Yeah.
Andy Melanakis podcast.
But yeah,
Well, you came in and we're about to end the stream, so hit that follow and you can watch us next Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
yeah, dude.
Poggers.
Or 1 a.m. in Italy.
Yeah, sell it Sunday. Yeah, 1 a.m. in Italy. Just in case you lived in Italy. We have that information.
We have a follower in Italy.
Available.
Okay.
We have more followers in Italy than we do like on the entire west coast of our country.
That's true.
Probably.
Yeah.
Like
It's 2 a.m. now. So we started.
What a loyal supporter, dude. We're gonna do something special for you. Maybe,
yeah, we are, dude.
Maybe we put something in our game.
That's how they Ooh.
Like on the credits scene or something.
We're gonna have a credits list for the Kickstarter.
Oh yeah.
So
that's very true.
I'm gonna put an Easter egg in one of the maps.
Yeah.
For Matador.
There's got to be something in there.
That's for sure happening.
Matador, you're already a legend, dude. And all you do is you just show up here, but you're a god.
Well, we love him though. It's fine.
We love you.
Well, boys, that's about a stream.
That's about time to wrap it up.
It's about a stream.
Yeah.
You want to end it, Cody?
Close out
Yeah, I'll wrap it up really quick. So it's been a fun stream. I feel like this stream's been a little bit different than our past ones. I mean, yeah, we talked about our topics and stuff, but
a little bit of a different format here.
But it was nice to kind of sit down, chill, chat, Matador. Always nice talking to you, my dude, and just kind of talk about some of the interesting stuff that's happening in our life, like transcranial magnetic stimulation. But if you enjoyed the podcast, our social media, this is going to be really hard to do, but it's right across the top of the stream there. Was it even remotely good?
You were about with your head. You had
right
it's
here.
like,
right up. You're a little too high.
It's right here.
You're a little too right there. Right
it's like
there.
you can see our social medias across the top there. Oh, not bad. A little too high. Drop it. Oh yeah, not bad, dude. So you can see our social media and all that across the top there. If you want to follow us, subscribe to us on those. That'd be great. Our Twitter, we plan on putting out more content on there coming soon. Small clips, stuff like that. I know I said that last week, but that stuff will be coming soon. The YouTube. We just uploaded our first non-podcast video there, so if you're interested and you want to see that,
a little mocap video,
go. You can go check that out. And
probably
I think we're
posting
going to be
some more stuff about the mocap when we get a little bit further along in that process.
Absolutely. And then our website, you can expect that to be live hopefully very soon, and that will probably replace one of the links up top. Probably Patreon, because we don't use that literally at all right now.
Yeah.
Or I guess Reddit either. But yeah, I mean, pick your platform of choice and go ahead and follow us there. Also, if you're interested and you enjoyed the stream, hit that little purple heart right above your video. You can follow us. We're trying to get to 50 followers so we can become affiliated. But besides that, if you enjoyed the stream, be sure to come out next week. We always stream Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The video will be live tonight on YouTube if you missed any parts and you wanted to check that out. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.